Welcome back here to live action from the KCC for this second day of the Fincher Shield, the two-day Premier League fixture. Another beautiful day here in Hong Kong, 23 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Play will be getting underway in just a couple of minutes. We've got umpires Prakash and Tabarak Dar out in the middle. Just recapping yesterday's action, Hong Kong Cricket Club winning the toss, electing to bat. They were all out for 141, doing the damage for KCC. A magnificent spell from Azaz Khan, 5 for 40, and ably supported by Atiq Iqbal, 4 for 44. Kinchit Shah providing some resistance there with 44, and Lukey Jones providing some resistance in the lower order, getting himself 40. In reply, KCC overnight, 2 for 149. Mo Khan, the pocket rocket, making 64, out in the last over, so be a little bit disappointed with that. But a great innings from Mo. And Bubba Hyatt on 68, not out overnight. Joining him will be the night watchman, Dan Pascoe. As mentioned, play will be getting underway in just a moment. Will be fascinating to see how skipper Jamie Atkinson from the KCC, what sort of tactics he employs this morning. One would think he'll be just looking, if they can, to bat through to lunch and maybe have a little look at bowling at Hong Kong Cricket Club after that. But much will depend on how this first session of play goes. So Hong Kong Cricket Club obviously will be really keen to get some early wickets here and try and get themselves back into the game. Looks as though it will be Shukla coming from the KCC bowling end to kick us off. And it'll be Bubba Hyatt on strike. Batted beautifully yesterday, Bubba. Some very lusty blows. I think including 3 successive sixes off Luke Jones, who... Oh, sorry, not Luke Jones, off Longy, who I thought actually bowled very well until Bubba decided to put the foot down, and yeah, some magnificent shots from him. So 2 slips, a gully, backward point, cover, mid-off, mid-on. Mid-wicket, fine leg. As we're about to get underway here. In comes Shukla. Defended by Hyatt, no run. Thought Shukla bowled absolutely magnificently yesterday. Very unlucky not to get a wicket or two, particularly against Mo Khan. I thought he really was all over him there at one stage, but just couldn't quite find the edge of the bat, but really bowled an excellent line and length. Oh, a play and a miss there by Hyatt. Probably well served to leave those alone, but we do know the way Bubba likes to play. Very aggressive batsman. So good start here from Shukla. That one just moving away from Hyatt. Nudged into that mid-wicket area, but no run. Dan Pascoe, as mentioned, the overnight batsman, the night watchman. Certainly no mug with the bat, so he'll be looking, I guess, to knock it around a little bit and give Bubba Hyatt as much strike as possible, I would think. Had a little look at the wicket pre the start of play today. It's an absolute belter of a track. Certainly would love to be out there. It looked that good. So yeah, I mean, fantastic effort by the KCC ground staff here. They've really put together a magnificent two-day wicket. Oh, well bowled Shukla, wrapping him on the pad. Yes, the ground looking an absolute picture. And I think as this day goes on, this wicket will just get better and better to bat on. Certainly settled down a little bit from yesterday. Still plenty of grass on it. Certainly no chance of it breaking up in any way, shape or form. One's worked away to fine leg, and that will beat the fielder down there. 4 runs to Hyatt. Got that one away fine enough. Fielder really had no chance down there. Quite a short boundary, probably only a 50-yard boundary, 45-yard boundary down there. Picked the gap beautifully. And that one nudged away to mid-wicket for a single. And that concludes the over. So after the 33rd, KCC 2 for 153. Hyatt now moving on to 72 from 81. And he'll retain the strike, Hyatt. Looks as though who have we got bowling here? Charlie's bowling there from the KCC pavilion end. So Charlie Wallace will take us away here. Had some trouble yesterday with his footmarks. It seemed to be really disturbing him. It was really affecting his action. He was struggling with his follow through. So let's see how he goes here this morning. In comes Wallace. Oh, that one carved away down to third person. Some great fielding there. It looks like Neenad Shah down there. Wonderful bit of fielding. Could be an overthrow. No, unfortunately Bubba Hyatt wasn't backing up. Would have been an easy overthrow there, one would have thought, but couple of runs nonetheless. Great fielding by Shah. Very quick in the outfield and an excellent arm. Defended away to cover, no run. Yes, there's some quite deep footmarks there on the popping crease. As mentioned, it was really disturbing Wallace yesterday. Let's hope he can get it right today. One worked away to deep square, easy single. That'll bring the night watchman from yesterday on strike, Dan Pascoe. Certainly mugged with the bat. Dan's made, I don't think he's made any, I'm not sure that he's ever made 100 for the Kowloon Cricket Club, but he's certainly made many 50s, and batting in that middle to lower order for the KCC, he's really been very handy over the years. Takes a lot of pride in his wicket. So he'll be seeing this as a great opportunity this morning to get some time in the middle. Oh, that was an edge, but fell well short of first slip there. Still plenty of batting in the shed for KCC. Jamie Atkinson, the skipper. Zaz Khan, Simadeep Singh, Wakas Barkat, all very good batsmen. So it will be interesting as this first session unwinds as to whether the KCC look to really press on. Excellent run rate as it stands though, almost 5 and over, not far off. Well defended there by Pascoe. Got some KCC royalty now coming into the combox. Nigel Shroff, captain of cricket for the KCC. Good morning, Nigel.
Good morning, Matthew. Thanks for having me. What a beautiful morning it is.
Absolute beauty. No run down there to mid-on. Yeah, picture perfect conditions, Shroffy.
Picture perfect conditions, and KCC just maintaining the same batsmen in from last night, Dan Pascoe and Bubba Hyatt.
And that's the end of the over. That'll be the conclusion of the 34th. KCC 2 for 157. I was just talking a little earlier, Shroffy, about tactics today. I'll be interested to see what Jamie Atkinson, what sort of tactics he employs. I'd imagine they'd be just looking to bat to lunch and then sort of review things from there, assuming they can bat to lunch.
No, absolutely. I think they're in a good rhythm at the moment. I don't think there's any need to change that. Keep batting, get more runs under the belt, and then, like you say, after lunch, review the situation. I would like to see if we do get enough runs on the board, KCC this is, and with time permitting, they might look to have a cheeky declaration and see what HKCC have in offer. Obviously, under the guise that they maintain that batting position.
Yeah. Oh, squared him up a little bit there. Once just squared it out to backward a point, no run.
And how have you felt this morning, Matthew Collins, on the way KCC have approached the game? Just same, just continuation from last night?
Yeah, indeed. Look, I thought it was a really complete performance yesterday from the guys. Obviously, losing the toss, you know, getting the ball in hand. You really want to get those early wickets, and really that first hour, I just thought the bowling of Azaz Khan in particular was absolutely superb. It's the play and a miss. Yeah, I just thought Azaz Khan. I mean, I've watched a lot of his cricket this year. I know he's had some injury issues, but he looked as good as I've seen him all year yesterday, and his line and length was impeccable. Yeah, so a well-deserved fifer for him. And you know, as we've come to expect, Atiq Iqbal just chips away at the other end. 4 for yesterday. Just, you know, does it easy, or makes it look easy anyway.
Absolutely.
Just gives you nothing to hit.
Absolutely. Atiq, the two-day specialist, as I like to call him, he seems to love these formats, and especially against the Hong Kong Cricket Club.
Shukla comes in. And a good leave there from Hyatt. Yeah, I mean, in the corresponding fixture, the Hancock Shield at Hong Kong Cricket Club last year, he got the 5 for, didn't he? He was absolutely superb. Just nibbles away at that 4th and 5th stump and just rarely gives you much to hit. So yeah, I thought it was just a really complete performance from the guys yesterday. And I think they've sort of been building up to that as the season's gone by. And I think you know, to be fair, I think at the start of the season, the guys weren't quite getting it together. And they've really just got better and better, and they're sort of back to what we've sort of become accustomed to. Oh, that one's edged away down here to third person near our commentary box, and that will be 4.
4 runs there, taking the outside edge.
Neenad Shah's very, very quick, but he's not that quick.
Yeah, just going back to what you were saying earlier, Matthew. I do think that this group it's a newly formed group in some respects. I think they've struggled with a short pre-season. Obviously, the pandemic not helping, but them coming through. I think they had a slow start, but I think you can see that they're coming together as a group. They're finding their rhythm, and they're peaking at the right time, I'd say.
No, very, very good point. I actually had a look the other day at the KCC Fincher Shield side from 2 years ago, and it's just a completely different team.
Completely different.
There's probably 5 or 6 at least players different out there today. Shukla comes in, well defended. Geez, I don't know if you were here yesterday afternoon, Nigel, but Shukla bowled absolutely magnificently. He was very, very unlucky not to get himself a bag of wickets.
Absolutely. I was here, and I'm a big fan of Ayush Shukla. I think he's a young prodigy. I think he puts a lot into his game, a lot into his bowling. He's always thinking, and you know, he's always trying to get that wicket and frustrate the batsman. And he always comes back. He always finds a way to come back. So a very decent prospect and a very, very talented young man.
Well, that's upish. Catchable height through that cover point region, and 4 more. So the run's really starting to flow easily here for KCC. It's been a good start.
And you kind of feel that Bubba's sort of getting into his rhythm now, and I think he'll start to go for it, maybe put his foot on the accelerator a little bit, and perhaps maybe a conversation he's had with the captain before the innings to see how he feels, and if it's coming on nicely, then you know, go for it.
Now, I'm not really sure what you say to Bubba. I think Bubba's going to do Bubba things.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, geez, he hit some big sixes yesterday. There was a number of lost balls, and he just doesn't. It just makes it look easy. He doesn't overhit the ball. I mean, he's got a lot of power. He's got a lot of natural timing, and he just leans into these shots, and they just go miles.
Absolutely. I was watching him yesterday, and I was saying that he just looks always that he has enough time and more of it, actually. Whereas for others, it doesn't come as simple. But some fantastic shots and very Bubba-like.
In comes Wallace. Oh, well played there by Dan Pascoe. Yeah, actually yesterday, I mean, obviously he hit a number of sixes, but I thought the best shot of his innings, he played a little bunt through mid-wicket late in the day, and honestly, there was hardly any backlift at all in it. And it absolutely rocketed to the boundary line. You couldn't hit it any better.
No, his timing is impeccable, and he's a great representation of Hong Kong cricket and the quality that we have here.
Well defended by Pascoe. I went out, you probably haven't had a chance to get out and have a look at the wicket this morning.
Not this morning.
But geez, it looks honestly, it makes me almost want to put a pair of whites on. It looks absolutely magnificent out there.
Well, this weekend has just been an absolutely great spectacle for cricket in Hong Kong, hasn't it? The weather is perfect. The groundsmen have done a fantastic job, not just on the wicket, but also the outfield here, if you can see it. It's just sublime, and I echo your sentiments. I'd very much like. They wouldn't have me, but I'd very much like to put on some whites and get out there.
Well, you're a sixes specialist nowadays, Shoffy.
That's where I've migrated to.
Pascoe leaving that one alone. Yes, in the recent, was it the corporate sixes?
Corporate sixes, yes.
No, you've just got your name permanently on that title of man of the series, haven't you?
I do enjoy the shorter format somewhat. I think,
if you could have threes, you'd do threes.
Exactly. I do think that the quality of the bowling here and obviously the game all round would test my resolve somewhat in this 2-day format. But
in comes Wallace again. That one down leg side. Now, Nigel, big lunch on here today at the club. Dignitaries from both of these great two clubs, Hong Kong Cricket Club and Kowloon Cricket Club. Got a big lunch planned up there.
Yeah, I think it's customary with these two fixtures. You know, obviously the Fincher Shield being quite a very important and one of the bigger fixtures in the KCC calendar, and the Hancock Shield, the 2-day equivalent on the other side of the harbour at the Hong Kong Cricket Club, representing the same format. It is customary to have a luncheon to invite the dignitaries of both the Hong Kong Cricket Club and Kowloon Cricket Club, as well as some board members from Cricket Hong Kong. It's just been played down to point there by Dan Pascoe. And really to signify the tradition of the match and the historic impact that the both clubs make in Hong Kong cricket, and long may that continue. And I think that's a very important part that we need to celebrate and come together as two stalwarts of cricket in Hong Kong.
Indeed, Nigel. Certainly from my perspective, the Hancock and Fincher Shields respectively are the highlight of the cricketing season for me.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Now I've pre-ordered my lunch, Shoffy.
Fantastic.
I've gone for the spotted owl for entree and the minky whale for
the game menu.
The game menu.
Well, that's what we do at the Kowloon Cricket
So
Club.
hopefully that's all been sorted for you.
It's all been sorted for you. As ex-captain of cricket yourself, that's the least we could do for you, Matthew.
No, I'm looking forward to the lunch, Nigel. I see Director of Cricket Ashley Caddy up there on the balcony doing his bits and running around and making sure everything's just spot on for all our guests this afternoon.
Absolutely. He's been a breath of fresh air today and this weekend, and actually since he's come on board, helping to just take the cricket at KCC to a new level, and so it should be. So we're very grateful for the work he's doing, and also the section here at the Kowloon Cricket Club.
Indeed, and I mean the role's a very, very broad one, but particularly in the front half of the season here at the KCC, we run a lot of cricket events, the corporate sixes, and of course we had the consulate sixes where we invite some of the major cricketing consulates in Hong Kong to put a team together. And that's always a great event as well, and I think Caddy's Ash has done a great job overseeing those events.
No, I'd have to agree. I think the Royal Commonwealth Society Cricket Sixes tournament brings together 6 of the Commonwealth consulates in a Sixers style format, my style format, as we have discussed previously.
Style.
It is, and that ends in a nice charity dinner, which I think is a very worthwhile cause, and I'm very proud that the Kowloon Cricket Club are representing this cause from a cricketing perspective. The corporate sixes, as you say, just helps impact the corporate community in the cricket, and there is a lot of cricket in the corporate community here in Hong Kong, and we just have to do our bit to make sure that that continues. So yeah, Ashley Caddy doing a fantastic job making sure that those events come to the Callan Cricket Club, and of course events like today. You know, you can't rival this.
As Shukla continues from the bowling green end. One worked into the mid-wicket area. Just a single.
Now tell me, Matthew, would you be partial to a bit of spin at this time of the morning, or would you keep this pair on?
Oh, I'd probably keep this pair on for a few more, but I think then I'd probably look to bring Lukey Jones on. Maybe Nizakat Khan. I mean, Nizakat got that wicket late doors yesterday. Yeah, I think really you just got to ring the changes and try and get a breakthrough. You know, you can't allow Bubba Hyatt to bat the whole way through this session, otherwise he's going to be 130. And the game's going to be beyond you. So I think, yeah, probably worthwhile trying some things. I wouldn't even mind seeing Kinchett himself have a role. I think just ringing the changes.
Yeah, I think HKC have a lot of spin options at their disposal. I was very impressed with Luke Jones yesterday coming on, and even Nizakat, he came on quite late, and so did Kinchett, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And obviously there's Scrivener as well, so...
Yes.
Good leave there from Pascoe. As I mentioned earlier, Pascoe does pride his wicket, so he'll be really, really relishing this opportunity to get some time in the middle and to get a score.
No, absolutely. He's in my opinion, a very underrated batsman. He puts a lot of time and effort into his game, and batting has been something he's been working on.
I actually reckon he works more on his batting than he does on his bowling. I mean, you often see him down here during the week doing private sessions with Waka Sparkat, the head coach. Oh, that one's just off the shoulder of the bat there, but played with soft hands. So
well, he's a big thinker of the game. He analyses his game very, very, very well, and he's a harsh critic of himself, and he's always looking to improve.
And he's a winner.
He's a winner.
He's a winner. He you know, he expects a lot of both himself and the teammates around him.
And someone we're very happy to have on our side, and someone that a lot of the juniors can look up to, and also his teammates.
Well, Dan's actually, I think it's with Atik Iqbal. They're looking after the Chinese team here. That's correct, aren't they? They're giving them some coaching, which is great to see.
Yeah, Dan.
It's the Pioneers.
No, it's the Pioneers, and that's a new initiative we've taken on at the Callan Cricket Club this year to provide training to our community development sides. And Daniel Pascoe's put his hand up to help coach along with Atik Iqbal.
And it's great. He goes along to the games and gives them support on game day, as well as giving his time for all their training sessions. So.
And I'm very proud to say that the Pioneers won their first match of the season against the Hong Kong Cricket Club Chi-Lin team.
Wow.
On the 19th of November.
Fantastic. Oh, that was a good one.
Bowled.
That was a good short ball, cannoning into the gloves there of Pascoe.
Ayush Shukla just continuing to tease and threaten the bat of Daniel Pascoe, and tried new things and see what he can get. It's very impressive.
Bowling with good heat. I noticed today the keeper did standing a little bit closer. I thought he was just standing a step or two back, a little bit too deep yesterday, but he just seems to have come in a couple of yards, and I think he's well served to do that. But Shukla bowling with good heat here. Oh, he's got him, and thoroughly deserved there by Shukla. It's gone right through Dan Pascoe, cleaned him up, bowled. And that's the end of Pascoe for 4. So he hasn't added to his overnight score.
KCC 166 for 3. And just talking about that with Ayush Shukla, he's continuing, he keeps coming back, he keeps driving in hard, bowls with heat. And
that's top of off. That is an absolute peach.
Absolute beauty.
Thoroughly deserved. Well, I think that would have got many a top order batsman out, that one.
I'd have to agree.
So let's just see who comes in next. Will it be Jimmy Atkinson or Simandeep Singh? What's your loving feeling, Shroffy?
I think it'll be Jimmy Atkinson, and I see him.
No, I think that looks like a.
That is Jimmy.
Is that Jimmy?
That is Jimmy.
My eyes are deceiving me, Nigel. I wasn't quite sure where he bat, because obviously he kept yesterday. Yeah, that is Jimmy.
It would have done him good getting an overnight rest from not batting yesterday. I think he would have iced himself well and coming looking fresh.
Well, the $64 million question. Obviously, he's taken the gloves off Chris Carter. Now, I don't know if you were aware yesterday, but there was a secondary game of cricket going on top of the pool pavilion. A little bit of stick cricket. My son over there. I mean, Jimmy's taken 7 catches yesterday. I don't think how does Carter get back in the team? But Carter was up there playing stick cricket. My son, who's only 15 and not even a bowler, actually got him out. So I think this is a long way back for Chris Carter to get into the side.
It's a long way back for Chris Carter, and I think this is just a resemblant of KCC in general. You know, we have people in all positions here. We've got, as Chris Carter would like to say, three choices of keepers down here. You know, Jamie Atkinson, fantastic day yesterday with the gloves.
I think he'll be very happy to hand those gloves back to Chris.
I would agree, but I don't think it'll be that easy from the selection point of view. But you know, fantastic with the gloves. Chris Carter has a lot of work to do to get back in that side. You know, you've obviously got Tommy Heisinger, probably the second best keeper at KCC, just behind Jamie Atkinson.
Oh, that's gone up in the air and taken. 2 wickets in 2 balls, and that is the end of Bubba Hyatt. I think the fielder there was Ninad Shah. So a couple of early wickets here, really putting the screws on the KCC. So well done to HKCC.
This is just what HKCC needed. The 2 big breakthroughs. Bubba Hyatt, the set batsman. Daniel Pascoe just taking his time, and obviously got that beauty from Ayush Shukla. Bubba Hyatt top edging that down to point where Ninad Shah took that catch. 2 new batsmen out to the crease.
Yes, 2 new batsmen out to the crease, and be disappointed with that Bubba. There was a big 100 on offer here today.
Oh, absolutely. He'll be disappointed with himself.
So yeah, he'll be really disappointed. So it looks as though Simo Singh will be joining Jamie Atkinson at the crease. So 2 fresh batsmen.
2 fresh batsmen. I think this partnership is crucial now. And would you say this swings it just a little bit, or a lot in HKCC's favour?
Well, I think obviously KCC is still well and truly in the driver's seat. But look, you know, we see some funny things happen sometimes in Hong Kong cricket, and you know, if they could roll KCC for, I don't know, 220 or something. You know, go have an 80-run deficit, go out and make some runs in a hurry. You never know. Funny things can happen.
It's the beautiful game of cricket.
So it will be Simandeep Singh to face Wallace. Had a tough start to the season, Simandeep Singh, but started to get a few runs now. Starting to get himself in a bit of form, but did go through a really tough patch in the first few months of the season.
I think it's just similar as we were talking with the Premier League side of KCC. They were just finding their feet. You know, Simandeep Singh, captain of the Templars, vice captain of the Premier League side here, looking to really pick up, and this will be a big moment for him. He'll need to really put on a big score here and take KCC home.
Ooh, oh, that's a big bouncer. Well, that had some heat on it, and that has gone for 4 wides.
Charlie Wallace bowling with the tail up now. HKCC really feeling this. You can see just a bit of energy now pumping through the HKCC fielders and the bowlers here. Yeah,
unfortunately, it just couldn't quite get enough of a pour on that one. Just flicked the glove, didn't it?
It did. I've been impressed with Charlie Wallace's bowling this season. I think
he bowls with great heat. Great heat.
He's a good addition to the HKCC squad. Him and Ayush Shukla make a devastating bowling pair.
Oh, well bowled. One hitting the gloves of Simo Singh. So 4 for 164. Yeah, I mean, you never know. You never know if Hong Kong Cricket Club could get KCC out for sort of around that 220 mark.
And the beauty of these fixtures is you never write any team off, and they'll not write themselves off either. They'll definitely still have a chance, and they do, and they'll know it as well.
Another very short one there from Wallace.
Deep square leg here. Is he trying to entice the Simandeep Singh into maybe a premature pull shot?
Yeah, I'm not sure that Simo's gonna do that, but it might make me look silly now. But well, certainly for guys like Mo Khan, who do regularly hit the ball in that area, certainly well worth it. But I'm not sure for Singh, who tends to be pretty circumspect early in his innings.
Absolutely.
As Wallace comes in again. Defended, and they'll get through for a single. Good running there by Atkinson. A nice early call, and he was through very quickly.
The leadership team of the KCC now batting, captain and vice captain.
Yes.
They do enjoy their time in the middle. It was this pair that made runs at the Hancock Shield earlier this season.
Yes, indeed.
That helped KCC get to a very respectable total.
Well, that was really the game that sort of got Simandeep Singh going, because really up until then he'd been really struggling. But yeah, he sort of worked his way through that innings, getting himself a 50 odd, I think. Peel from the slips, but I don't think there was anything on that. Certainly up and about now, Hong Kong Cricket Club.
You can feel the energy increasing here on the field, and as it should be.
Well, another couple of wickets here. They're right back in it.
They're right back in it. Charlie Wallace bowling with a spring in his step. It'll be interesting to see when Ayush comes back how he maintains that heat that he's been bringing early doors this morning. That's well bowled.
Very optimistic appeal, one thinks there. That's the end of the over.
KCC 172 for 4. So now Ayush Shukla coming back into the attack to face Simadeep Singh. Very important little spell this for both HKCC and KCC. KCC now 2 new batsmen at the crease, Simadeep Singh and captain Jamie Atkinson. Ayush Shukla removing Daniel Pascoe in his previous over, Charlie Wallace removing Bubba Hyatt in his previous over.
Oh, what a beautiful delivery from Shukla. Jeez, he's bowled well.
He's bowling well, he's maintaining his consistency. A very, very, very delightful prospect, young Ayush Shukla.
Now, according to the weather wall, Shroffy, it's only 23 degrees, but it feels a lot warmer, doesn't it?
It feels a lot warmer, and it's the beauty of Hong Kong, I think. This
Great
morning,
time of year.
This morning it felt like it was -10 some parts, and now you can go for a swim. The best time of the year for Hong Kong.
That one worked away to mid-wicket. Scamper through for a single.
Yeah, just another fantastic day here, Matthew Collins. And anyone watching in Hong Kong, you know, get down to the Kowloon Cricket Club.
Absolutely.
It looks like it's going to turn into a spectacle day of cricket, a full day of cricket, and against 2 titans here, and the game evenly poised at this moment.
Well, I mean, I'd say KCC have got the upper hand, but yeah, a few more wickets, you never know. Umpire Tabrak unmoved. Does have a tendency of getting across his stumps a little bit, does. Atkinson. Unfortunately, it looks as though our YouTube stream is down at the minute. It certainly is at the ground. So apologies if you are having trouble viewing it at home. But hopefully we can get that back online quickly. It might be just our screen here, Shroffy.
I think it might be our monitors. They might just have gone way too excited with the 2 wickets that have happened, and they'll be back on momentarily.
Ooh. Squaring him up just a smidgen there. Nitesh, our resident IT guru, looking to fix our internet connectivity here.
Ayush Shukla coming in.
Oh, what a magnificent ball. Wowee.
He's bowled a few like that, just teasing that off stump line. I think, you know, that might be the struggle today on this wicket, because there have been a few that have just popped up to the keeper and a few that have seamed in and,
Yeah.
and taken that off stump, and as we saw with Daniel Pascoe.
Geez, he's put him in the right areas though.
He's been bowling very well. He's been bowling very well. Asking questions of the batsman here, Ayush Shukla. And that's Brett Long coming into a second gully position from short leg.
I like it. Oh, we've got comms back. Beautiful. That is a cracking
That's a
delivery.
fantastic delivery.
Well defended from Atkinson. No run. And that concludes the 39th over. KCC move on to 4 for 173. So a lead of 32. How many's too many, Shroffy? 150? 180? Too many? What would they be looking for? Or do you think they're just going to bat?
I would say at this moment just bat, but I would say I would back KCC at 180 lead. But you never know, you know, with HKCC, with Nizakat Khan, if he gets going,
Yeah, that's right. There's no ground big enough for him.
Exactly. There's no ground or total. So
Kinchit Shah as well.
Kinchit Shah as well. You know, HKCC have pack a punch with their batting lineup. You know, we don't want to be a bit premature, but I'd say 180 with the time that we have, presumably after lunch, maybe bat into a bit of a session after lunch, then KCC might just fancy themselves.
Obviously Hong Kong Cricket Club having different ideas. They're looking to try and wrap these last 6 wickets up as quickly as possible. Well defended there by Singh.
Now there are rumours circulating that the captain of the Hong Kong Cricket Club might have to leave early to catch a flight back to Mumbai.
That's huge if true.
That's huge if true. Unverified at the moment.
Okay. Well, we'll see if
Or
we
is
can,
that just tactics from the opposition?
We can have to get our scouts out to
No.
see what we can find out about that one. Oh, that's a genuine nick, but fallen short there of first slip. Yes, that would be an enormous blow given given that Hong Kong Cricket Club are likely to be batting some stage later today. If he's not able to bat.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that, Shroffy.
Well, as I said, unverified.
Unverified. Okay, so we don't want to spread malicious rumours. We don't do that. We don't do that. So
here. But if it gets people down to the ground to see what's happening here, then
Yes.
please do come down and enjoy the cricket at the Kowloon Cricket Club.
that one's worked away nicely to deep square for a single. And really, that's all these two need to be doing here, Nigel. It's just knocking it around.
Kinchit Shah, Ninad Shah, they've had two brothers, formerly of KCC, have had a decent season with Hong Kong Cricket Club.
I mean, Kinchit obviously has played very, very well in the games against KCC
Absolutely.
in particular. In that 20 over Premier League final, he was fantastic.
You would definitely not write off the Hong Kong Cricket Club batting lineup with those two and
Coetzee, of course.
And Coetzee, of course.
Oh, well bowled, Wallace. Good to see. He's got some fire in his belly this morning.
It's great to see the Hong Kong Cricket Club bowlers just coming in, ball after ball,
Having a crack.
hitting the areas, and getting the wicket to do something for them. A good contest. Two experienced batsmen at the crease, two very experienced bowlers. A great day for it.
Oh, that's beautifully struck by Atkinson, but straight to the fielder at mid-off and no run. Geez, he hit that well.
This is a trademark Jamie Atkinson, just forward defence drive, timing with everything. He's just so he's a just like Bubba Hyatt, Jamie Atkinson, a pleasure to watch when he's in the zone. A pleasure to watch him bat.
Last month he ran the marathon as well.
did.
Great effort from Jimmy. Oh, squeezes that one out.
A very fine athlete, Jamie Atkinson.
No mean feat to be running a marathon. He's a big man too.
No mean feat.
What would he be, 6'3", Jimmy?
6'3", big build, and ran it in good time as well.
He did it under 4 hours, didn't he?
Under
3 hours 50 something.
Yeah, very
It's a
good
great
time.
effort. We've had marathons galore. We've had the Namibian Nightmare Jay Davison doing a rowing marathon last week to raise money for November.
I actually did support him. That's my claim to fame. I supported the Namibian Nightmare
I believe
Jay.
you did a little bit of pace setting with him. You got in the rowing machine next to him and helped him out with a bit of pacing.
That's what we do here at the Callan Creek Club. We're all about support with all our teammates.
Now the big question was, because they were putting up on the chalkboard, Nigel, all of the distances done in the support rowing. Now, was it 500 metres or 5,000 metres?
Well, it's a very good question. I'm glad you brought it up, Matthew, because I do want to set the record.
You want to set the record straight?
I do want to set the record straight on air as well to all the viewers here today, just as Ayush Shukla comes into bowl.
Oh, that's a genuine nick. Just short there of gully.
Now here's the question: do you reckon they are too far back the slips, or is it soft hands?
I think a little bit of soft hands there. I think definitely yesterday, at the beginning of the KCC innings, I definitely think the keeper and the slips were too far back. But they seem to have taken a step or so forward today. I think they're in a much better position. But yeah, we've had a couple today though fall short. But I think it's more just soft hands rather than those slips being too far away. Bowled again from Shukla.
Ayush Shukla continuing just to ask questions of the batsmen here. Simandeep Singh up to the task up until now. A good contest here at the Callan Cricket Club. We're here all day for those viewers watching. If you are in Hong Kong, come on down. Fantastic day of cricket, fantastic weather, and a fantastic contest on our hands.
Here comes Shukla. Oh, that's powerfully struck. Down the ground. Will it go all the way? Has it gone all the way? Yes, it has. It's a lovely shot there from Simandeep Singh. Well timed.
Fantastic, and that's what you get with Simandeep Singh. Beautiful timed, straight down the ground.
And let's not forget he is the fittest man in Hong Kong, just for the avoidance of any doubt.
He is the fittest man in Hong Kong.
Well bowled and well defended.
A personal trainer by trade, Simandeep Singh.
Have you checked out his Insta?
I have.
It's some very impressive photography on there.
No, I can imagine. He takes his work very seriously. He takes his PR very seriously. And takes his cricket very seriously. But coming back to the question that was asked before about the Movember challenge.
Yes, do tell, Nigel.
I very selflessly went down to support the Namibian Nightmare and kept pace for a good 5 kilometres.
5 kilometres, that is official.
5,000 metres, that is official.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot there by Simandeep Singh, but well fielded, and just the single. So you were stitched up, is what you're saying?
Effectively, yes. I won't name
someone
names.
Someone took a nought off the.
I won't name names.
Off the chalkboard.
Jealousy isn't a good look on some people these days. But we will get Jay Namibia at some point to officiate what I've said.
Okay.
And name it through.
You've heard it here first.
But a big month for all the physical athletes at the Callan Cricket Club, myself included in that.
Myself not included. So it'll be Jimmy Atkinson on strike now. Would have been very pleased with his charges yesterday. Really set KCC up for the opportunity to close this one out today. Let's see if he can do it with a bat. He's worked that one away. It's gone quite fine, but the fielder's done well down there at fine leg. And just the one.
No, Jamie Atkinson was fantastic in the field yesterday.
7 catches.
7 catches, but just to reiterate the bowling yesterday. I mean, Azaz Khan.
Ooh.
I haven't seen him bowl that well in a long time, and reminder of his old self, and it was just fantastic to watch. Ably supported by Atiq Iqbal, the 2-day specialist, as I like to call him.
He is. And Dan the Man Pascoe, even though he didn't get a wicket, 10 overs, none for 10.
Right, keeps it very tight, keeps the pressure on, and of course our boy Jay Davidson, bowling from the Callan Cricket Club end. And just a shout out to the groundsman here. I thought yesterday the wicket was carrying through very nicely.
Yeah, it was good.
Playing well.
And it's playing well again this morning.
And it is. So just a good, fantastic day of cricket all round.
So we've got Wallace to continue here from the KCC Pavilion end. It'll be Atkinson on strike.
Well bowled, just carrying nicely into the keeper. Did
good leave in the end from Atkinson.
It's great to see this, Matthew. The two bowlers here, the pace continuing, the consistency continuing, the line and length being aggressive.
They bowled really well
Fantastic.
this morning.
You have to
Really
take
well.
your hat off to the Hong Kong Cricket Club bowlers. They haven't let their head down, and they've got the breakthrough previously with Dan Pascoe and Bubba Hyatt getting out in quick succession.
Well, that's a full toss, and well fielded there by Ninad Shah. Safe 3, Nigel.
He saved 3. Fantastic fielding by Nina.
Reached out, he got that paw on that one, and Jimmy Atkinson will feel as though he's missed out a little bit there. Full toss, right in his wheelhouse, really.
It's usually the full toss that get you, though. I mean, I've been a victim to many of those. The full toss where your eyes light up, but Ninad Shah, fantastic fielding there at point.
No ball there from Wallace. Defended away to backward point. No run. Again, just looking at that popping crease. There's quite a big hole there, actually.
There is.
At both ends.
Synonymous of a 2-day cricket. Just wanted to get your thoughts on the amount of no balls that have been coming through recently.
There's been a lot. I mean, for KCC, Azaz Khan's been the main culprit. Obviously, in these 2-day formats, it's not a free hit, but still 3 runs.
Exactly.
I don't think Azaz bowled too many yesterday. He might have bowled 1. I think Jay bowled a couple. But yeah, there's been a few in the game.
Definitely a key point for the umpires to look at. They've been doing their job very well here.
Umpires Prakash and Dar officiating.
Tabak Dar, an internationally acclaimed umpire, ICC qualified.
He's done it all. He also played cricket. He played for Hong Kong as well.
A stalwart of Hong Kong cricket.
Many years.
As well as Little Saiwan.
Oh, and he's got him. Charlie Wallace. Great spell of bowling this morning. Simo Singh back in the pavilion. It is all happening here at the KCC. It's a great fight back here.
It's all happening here, Matthew, and what a fight back from Hong Kong Cricket Club. Their tails up. KCC 5 down now, and now is the balance slightly shifted, or are we still maintaining?
They're getting themselves back into the contest. I mean, for those listening out there that aren't aware of the playing conditions, of basically there's a win for having that first innings lead, but even if you don't get that first innings lead, you can still win outright.
You can still win outright.
So that would obviously be Hong Kong Cricket Club's only chance today to get the title, and that's to bowl KCC out twice.
Now, how does the game change if Hong Kong Cricket Club are able to dismiss KCC before lunch?
Well, if you were to have it, as I said, let's say we're looking at 220 or thereabouts, let's say, so that's about an 80-run lead. If I was Hong Kong Cricket Club, given that you've basically got nothing to lose, I'd sort of treat it like a 20-20, 30-over game. Go out, try and knock those 80 off, maybe get 100 ahead, and then try and bowl Kowloon out in the last session.
Oh, fantastic spectacle.
As I said, funny things have happened.
Funny things happen. That's the beauty of the 2-day game, and hope if that does come down, then for the neutral spectator, it would be a fantastic day. Yeah, the neutral. So, if you are around Hong Kong, and you fancy a good afternoon watching cricket, please do come down to the Kowloon Cricket Club. It's turning into a fantastic contest here between the two stalwarts of cricket.
How well are these two bowled this morning?
Fantastic.
Unbelievable.
We've just been talking about how great Ayush Shukla has been coming back, but Charlie Wallace has just been as good as ever.
Yeah, he's got this. He seems a lot more comfortable at the crease, Charlie Wallace, today. It was obvious it was concerning him yesterday, but he's getting through his delivery stride much better. So he's getting, his pace is up, and his accuracy's been better today too. He did get a bit wayward yesterday, and I think that was just all down to his discomfort.
No, absolutely.
At the delivery stride.
I'd have to agree, and you can see he's bowling now with confidence, tails up. Hong Kong Cricket Club, the energy is picked up now in the field.
Yeah, there's great energy out there.
The bowling partnership with Ayush Shukla, he's also got his confidence up. It's a very threatening bowling partnership. As we see, Azaz Khan has just whipped that away. Is that Azaz Khan? He's whipped that away. The 5-wicket taker, he's now coming in and will need to do a big job here for KCC in the batting.
That one worked away by Atkinson to deep square for a single. Scrivener the fielder.
KCC 182 for 5.
That big partnership yesterday between Mohammed Khan and Bubba Hyatt really has set this innings up for KCC after losing the early wicket of Devang Bulsaria.
Absolutely, it set the tone. They batted both very beautifully, and that would have given KCC a lot of confidence to come to this morning to just continue the efforts of last night. HKCC though won't lie down. They've cracked back this morning, and
yeah, 3 wickets in not even the first hour. So terrific start today from them.
It's all to play for. So tell me, Matthew, have you been playing a few of the Fincher Shields or Hancock Shields in your time?
Yes, indeed, mate. Many moons ago.
Many moons ago.
Ooh, squared him up. Shukla on the money again.
It's impressive watching Ayush come in. He's coming in ball after ball, over after over, in the heat here today. He's just been hitting those lines correctly, and he's got the breakthrough before. And he'll be testing and asking questions of Jamie Atkinson here.
It'll be interesting to see how much longer these two can go. I mean, I'd say they might only have another 1 or so in them each. You never know.
You never know, but they've been bowling absolutely splendidly. As a captain, you'd want to continue bowling them for
keep them going
for as long as possible. That's
well played there by Atkinson. Does play that shot well, doesn't he? Just gets that back on the back foot and just punches it away.
That's a trademark Jamie Atkinson shot, that is. Just
didn't get all of it by any means, but a single nonetheless. So Azaz Khan, he was the man with the ball, 5 for 44.
Can he be the man with the bat on day 2 here at the Cowden Cricket Club?
Well, I mean, let's be honest. The old schoolyard cricket, Nigel. You get the 2 captains, you got all the kids in front of you, and you take it in turns to pick your team. You'd have to think he'd be the first pick.
He would,
because who are you going to get that can pretty much open the batting and the bowling for you? Well played.
No,
He's
absolutely.
Very, very good cricketer.
I'd have to echo that. And he's in the T20 format. He's the opening bowler and the opening batsman.
He's doing it all.
KCC heavily relying on Azaz Khan.
Yeah, bats a little bit lower down the order in the longer form, but if asked to open, he would have certainly opened.
Yeah, well, he can do it all, and can do it all well.
Here comes Shukla. Defended away. I think just having watched a lot of his cricket since he was a junior, really, I think where he's really improved is how he's been able to, pace his innings now. Instead of just coming out and blasting, he gives himself time at the wicket. You'll often see him make a pretty slow 30 or 40, and then the next sort of 40, 60 plus comes in quite a hurry. So I think he's really learnt to have some patience and give himself time in the middle just to get himself established before sort of playing any real big shots. So he's become a more sensible cricketer, I think. One worked away to backward point. There'll be a shy at the stumps, but Jimmy Atkinson well home. There's a ricochet off Jamie, but certainly won't be taking an overthrow on that.
No, I'd have to agree, Matthew, with regards to Azaz. I think he's definitely got it all with regards to the skill, but just working on his game temperament, the pace of the innings. He's come a long way in the last few years, and it's great to see, and it's great to watch. And KC have been huge benefactors of that.
Yep. Shukla to continue here. Jimmy Atkinson on strike. Worked that one away. That kept a little bit lower.
Kept very low. I was watching that. And this is just something that that KCC might be Yeah, that case might bring in KCC into a bit of worry in the second innings, late in the day, with the wicket. What do you think?
I think it's going to hold up very well.
Okay.
Having looked at it pre-game today, it just looks a superb track. I mean, it's going to. Even yesterday it turned, but I just think it's a wonderful batting wicket. I think it's just going to get better.
Matthew Collins called it here first. If anyone's around Hong Kong today needing something to do, the cricket at the Kowloon Cricket Club, a fantastic day for it. HKCC versus KCC in the Fincher Shield. Kowloon Cricket Club currently 184 for 5. A lead by 43. As Charlie Wallace comes back in for another over. He's been exceptional today.
I'll just check out with our stats man. Nitesh, how many Charlie and Shukla bowled this morning?
This morning.
Yep. One worked away to backward square. They bowled half a dozen each. Thereabouts. Nitesh just beavering away, getting that info for us.
Yeah, this should be Charlie's 6th.
So this is Charlie's 6th over. Shukla's already completed 6, so maybe another one each. Do you think, Shroffy? Or
I would have to agree. I think if they've got it in them, the energy is good. They're bowling beautifully.
it is pretty warm out there.
It is very warm out there.
Late yesterday afternoon, it was absolutely beautiful in the sun, but as soon as you got in the shade, it was freezing.
Yeah, it was freezing.
Good running there from Atkinson. Big man, no hesitation. And that's the key, isn't it, to good running between wickets? You just can't hesitate.
He's good, quick off the mark.
Good understanding there with Azaz Khan. Obviously would have played a lot of cricket together.
Absolutely.
Both at a club level and also a national level.
Absolutely. A good understanding between these two, which is very key for running between the wickets, especially with two young, quick guns like these two. Okay. Just a quick question then. If Charlie and Ayush do come off, who would you be throwing the ball to?
Well, I think Brett Long will probably take one end. Probably, if I would. Oh, that's out.
Oh, that's dropped.
Dropped. Oh no, that has gone straight to second slip. Very catchable height. I'm not sure who that is there. Do we know who that is there? Is it Kitsia? Sorry? Kitsia or Buckley? We can't really see from here. We're a long way away from the play, but that has gone straight to second slip. It does not get any more simple than that, and letting a player of Jamie Atkins' ability off the hook. Oh, and that one's through covers. That's gone all the way, and that really does hurt.
That rubs salt into the wounds here for Charlie Wallace. That's a regulation catch there down to second slip, and you don't want to be dropping those off for Jamie Atkinson especially.
These two bowlers have bowled absolutely superbly this morning, and you got to feel for Wallace there. He's done everything right this morning, and really should have had the skipper Jamie Atkinson back in the pavilion. Absolutely. Extremely straightforward catch, just been shelled.
Charlie Wallace bowling absolutely fantastic this morning, continuously asking questions of the batsman. He had nearly had his breakthrough there again with the Jamie Atkinson.
No ball there from Wallace. Yeah, I guess that drop catch there sort of, vindicates what we thought earlier about whether or not the slips were standing far enough forward or back.
No, exactly.
That was definitely spot on catchable height.
Straight in and straight out, they won't be happy. And unfortunate to see. Obviously, you never want to see that as a bowler when you have one dropped and then the next one goes to the boundary before. So
now, joining us in the commentary box, we've got the great, the legendary Tommy Heisinger. Morning, Tommy.
Morning. That was Buffer-esque.
Buffer-esque. Oh, look, beautiful day here, Tommy.
Absolutely. Amphitheatre of cricket.
Hong Kong Cricket Club, they've come out breathing fire this morning.
And they needed to, right? They needed to do that. They were behind the 8 ball. And it's been a great response thus far.
Certainly has. Now, Nigel, you've got preparations to make upstairs for all of our VIPs and dignitaries. So I know you're going to head off, but thanks for spending a bit of time with us this morning and giving us some insights.
No, thank you, Matthew. Pleasure to be down here. And as I say, anyone who would like to come down and watch the cricket, Kowloon Cricket Club, a fantastic day out here between Hong Kong Cricket Club and the Kowloon Cricket Club. KCC currently 191 for 5, turning into a beautiful day of cricket.
Cheers, Stroffy. And that
Cheers,
one's
take
worked
care.
away through mid-wicket. I don't know if it'll go. Scrivener trying to get around. Ah, great save from Scrivener. Oh, nearly a run out too. Wonderful bit of fielding from Scrivener there.
It was.
Big man, he...
We've seen a couple of big men get down. Bubba yesterday on a couple of occasions down by the boundary.
Yes,
it's
indeed.
good to see, you know, have these big boys throwing themselves about,
Indeed, indeed.
getting stuck in.
So what do you make of the state of the play, Tommy? KCC now a lead of 50, but 3 early wickets this morning. Obviously one of those is the night watchman, so you know, effectively
Pascoe
sort of...
won't be happy.
Did I called him that? No. Well, look, I think it's fair though. I think Pascoe... Like, what? Under normal circumstances, where would he bat? 7 or 8?
Correct. 8.
8 probably. So yeah. So how do you see this panning out?
I think it's.
I mean, obviously, if KCC get bowled out,
correct.
then you know any tactics that Jamie Atkins might have had are thrown out the window. You know, if they get bowled out in this first session. But
Indeed, I think you hit the nail on the head there. If they get at least another 80, then HKCC have to treat it almost as a T20 game as Ayush comes in. Shot.
Beautifully worked there through mid-wicket. They'll look for a second, but Azaz Khan sensibly sends captain Jimmy Atkinson back.
And sensible cricket is what's required here, to be honest. I think just knuckle down. They were always going to come out guns blazing early doors, right? And it's part and parcel of 2-day cricket. You've got to absorb that. Just going back to that drop, I was actually speaking to the guys on the balcony. They disagreed with me. I sometimes think if you've got a big player, big personality at the crease, it can almost lead to fielders being that little bit more tentative.
Nervous?
Yeah, when it comes
we're a long way from second slip at that end. Was it Pizia or Buckley? I couldn't see.
Know. I wouldn't want to speculate either way, obviously, but easy catch nonetheless.
Yeah, certainly a crucial one, and obviously a boundary ball the next ball.
Always happens, doesn't
Charlie
it?
Wallace and Shukla this morning, they have bowled absolutely tremendously.
Yeah,
Superb.
Absolutely. Have they've been going from the start?
Going from the start. So this is Shukla's 7th, I believe, and Wallace has completed 6. So they may need a spell shortly, but as I'm sort of discussing with Nigel earlier, you'd like to just keep them going, wouldn't you?
You would.
That's a beautiful shot there by Atkinson. Full toss outside off stump. Jimmy Atkinson's not going to miss too many of those, and he's cashed in there for a boundary.
Yeah, a bit like Azaz and Atik yesterday. Just absolutely metronomic in the way that they went about their business, and just
that's a
over
wonderful
after
word, Tommy. Metronomic.
It's a wonderful world as well. It is a wonderful world. Weather like this, as I keep saying, amphitheatre really. KCC struggle to beat a ground like this, certainly in Asia, let alone the world.
As Shukla continues from the bowling green end. Well bowled. No run there.
Yeah, look, Ayush, he's a young man, and I think when the tail is up, the tail is really up. I remarked on this yesterday. I'd like to see him even more resilient than he already is. I think a couple of boundaries here or there can maybe get his head down, but this is a showing of what latent talent lies beneath, I think, and he's done a great job. Great lad, actually.
He is.
Fierce competitor.
I thought it was a wonderful tussle between him and Mo Khan yesterday.
Yeah, was he getting stuck in?
He was all over Mo Khan.
Yeah.
He was very, very stiff not to get him out. Caught behind her in the slips area. Mo Khan playing and missing.
There was that one particular over, right? And it was just putting it.
That one's a genuine nick there, but again, soft hands and just bouncing into second slip there.
Ayush on loop.
Yes.
Is that Brett Long at cover, urging the troops on?
Well, this is really a crucial time, isn't it?
Correct, yes.
58 run lead.
You don't want these boys batting at lunch.
Either Hong Kong Cricket Club get another couple of wickets and really make it difficult for KCC to put on any real meaningful lead, or these two get stuck in and take KCC through to lunch. And Jimmy Atkinson has just rocked back on that one. Hasn't got it all by any means, but we'll pick up a couple.
Slight clothage there, but
Yes.
perhaps a sign of a youth. Feeling the fatigue of what has
Yes.
been a strenuous but powerful early spell of bowling.
Yeah, well, that's 7 done. I just wonder if he is getting a bit tired. Look, as we mentioned earlier, the weather wall indicating only a temperature of 23 degrees, but it certainly feels a hell of a lot warmer. Yeah,
Toasty. Certainly down here in this corner. I don't know if we've got some sort of...
we'll have to push Ash Caddy next time around for an
Fans.
air conditioned box. Do you think?
I'm surprised he hasn't thought of that. DOC. He's been doing a wonderful job.
He certainly has.
Just to put it on record again.
He's been running around this morning making sure everything's going to be spot on for all of our dignitaries coming down here at lunchtime today.
And the playing dignitaries yesterday receiving their green cap.
Yes.
And Ashley was the centerpiece of that cap giving ceremony. He did a great job.
Very nice indeed. So Charlie Wallace now coming in for his 7th.
Strong action.
Oh, that's beautifully
Shot.
played there by Azaz Khan. Just waited on that one, played it late and back with a point. It's gone for 4.
Yeah, Kinchit has a decision to make here, right? Because really they're at the stage of the game where they can't afford a couple of even 8-run overs here, and of course they've been playing well, but if fatigue is starting to set in, then
you've got to change it up, don't you?
Yeah.
It's a tough one. You've got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Quite right. Hold and fold, baby.
You poker man, Tommy? You strike me as potentially one of these online poker gurus.
I'm certainly not on the online game. I've got...
Well defended, well bowled, Wallace.
I know how to play the game, but I wouldn't say I'm any sort of expert, thankfully. You?
Oh, I dabble.
Yeah?
Don't mind a punt, Tommy.
Got to be done, right?
You can take the boy out of Melbourne, but not the Melbourne out of the boy.
Bouncer potentially in play here. They've got deep backward square back.
Yeah,
so
great call, Tommy. And that one just worked away. Should just be a single there to deep square.
I think, what do you reckon Atkinson wants to do? Just bat all day?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think
Will he declare at some point?
I think he's going to, if they're still batting at lunch, and that's obviously an if.
Yeah.
We can't assume that. I think he'll have a look at it. I think if they're still batting at lunch, they can come out after lunch and maybe get that lead up to around 150, 180, and then I think if they're obviously still in, and then I think look to put the opposition in and try and go for an outright victory.
Yeah, why not?
I don't think Jamie's going to play safe. It's just not really in his makeup, and he'll be looking to, if given the opportunity, he'll be looking to give his side the best chance to go for that outright win, I would think.
You have to say that, but you know, we spoke about it. That's an 8-run over,
yeah,
Collins, and they just can't afford. They can't afford that where the game is at the moment, and the state of the game. Good shot, but I completely agree. Was that Ninad? That if it was,
yeah, and that's
very,
uncharacteristic.
Yeah.
I mean, Ninad Shah, I would think, is their best fielder. He's a wonderful fielder. He's very, very quick across the grass, and great catcher. Oh, that's very dangerous.
It's the second of the day. How does that work? There was one yesterday.
I don't know if he actually got a warning for that one yesterday. Just because it's over waist high doesn't necessarily mean it's a warning. It's got to be considered dangerous, as I understand it.
I think Jamie might be getting in the umpire's ear about this.
Yeah, I think.
Because
Jamie not happy.
Now the umpires converge. I think this is a good symptom of Jamie's fierce competitive instincts, right? I mean, this isn't condemning what the umpires are doing. This is putting forward the facts as they stand in his mind around what happened yesterday.
So, what's happening here?
So I think for the context of
I'm not sure that
listening,
the one yesterday was a warning.
Right, I don't know.
Because normally what you see is with a warning, you see the umpire go to the captain and advise the skipper that the bowler's been warned. And I didn't see that yesterday, and perhaps that high full toss yesterday wasn't considered dangerous. I mean, that one certainly probably should have been, but
yeah, that was rib bound, wasn't it?
I don't think you want to bowl another one of them.
That was a bold appeal there from
That was a bold
Brett
appeal.
Long.
It's can't really see from our vantage point. We'll have a look at the replay, but perhaps maybe down leg side.
I think that's a safe assertion to make and a good decision by the umpire.
So that big partnership yesterday, Tommy, between
It
Mo
was
Khan,
big.
the Pocket Rocket, and Bubba Hyatt.
Big and little.
For big and little, yeah. 126. It's really, well, you have to say it's been the difference between the two sides.
Yeah,
That
and
partnership,
it's-
that alone.
correct. And all you really need is a partnership, and we kept going on about it yesterday. Partnerships come in many forms. Obviously, you've got the bowling partnerships, and today we've had Wallace and Ayush. Yesterday we had Azaz and Atik, but you also, of course, have batting partnerships, and certainly yesterday was Mo and Bubba are really at their best, quite frankly.
Yeah. Now we've got a bowling change here, and good to see the skipper taking it upon himself to get the ball in his hand.
Indeed. I wonder if it's going to start to
Well, we
to
saw
spin.
Well, we saw yesterday there was quite a bit of bounce.
Yeah,
Not a huge amount of turn though.
yeah. Which, as a batsman, it's quite easy to play. To be honest.
Although Lukey Jones did rip a few.
Those leggies always get
Bit of purchase?
Yeah, a bit of purchase, more so than the finger spinners, just by the physics of one's wrist versus one's fingers. You're always going to be able to impart more spin on the ball if
This
you're
is very impressive.
using
Tommy.
your wrist.
Very impressive.
So let's see what Kinchit does. He's actually, I played against him a few weeks ago. He's got a Dusra in his locker. Quite easy to read, it must be said, but nonetheless,
But it's there.
it's there. It's there. And
Do you think he's
sometimes-
going to produce it early doors here, Tommy?
I think he'll try and land a few on the spot. Quite frankly, first couple of overs, and then maybe sneak one through third or fourth. I would have thought.
Okay, we've heard it here first from Tommy Heisinger. So Kinship will kick things off here at the bowling green end and defend it away. Now, your own game, Tommy. You've batted very, very well this year, but you've hurt you broke your finger.
I broke my finger, unfortunately.
You made a wonderful Premier League 50 in your debut.
Yeah, that
Huge.
was no.
Must have been a good experience for you,
Oh, an
and
amazing
thoroughly
experience.
deserved, by the way. You've played very, very well and very much earned your spot. And yeah, how was the experience,
Oh, I
Tommy?
loved it. I loved it. It was one that I felt very grateful and privileged, really, to partake in, and yeah, just tried to go out there. Not a lot of pressure with the team that we have and the guns that we have in the side. If you're opening the batting, you just know that you're safe in the knowledge that.
Playing with a bit of freedom. Tommy.
Correct. Yes. So it was really good, and then obviously we didn't get the result, which ultimately that's what you're looking for as a team. That's what comes first, but nevertheless, it was a great experience being part of it.
Very good. Now, so you've broken your finger subsequent to that?
I have.
The
so
little finger, wasn't it?
the little finger. I got it on the second over of our victory against the Witherers, the Crusaders' victory against the Witherers. It happened second over as Kinchik comes in.
That might be close.
Shake of the head.
Good start here from Kinchit Shah.
Azaz didn't fancy the single there.
Don't think there's too much backing up. A little bit like Bubba. Not too much backing up going on there.
Yeah. So yeah, got one on the end, second over of the. I actually didn't think I'd broken it because I ended up keeping for another 33 overs.
So it just stayed warm.
Well-
It wasn't until it pulled down.
Yeah, and then I pulled it out, and I kind of concluded it didn't look quite right. So I got
Almost-
an X-ray the next day, and lo and behold,
So when are we going to see you back in action, Tommy?
it's the $1 million question. The doc said 3 months. I think, to be honest,
Bit conservative, mate. They're being a bit conservative.
potentially a bit conservative.
I notice you've got all of the plastering off and everything.
Yeah, that's all off now. It's just trying to establish flexibility in my finger again, but I can hold
It
it
does
back.
look pretty nasty, actually.
Yeah, it's a
even
bit
now.
swollen.
Jeez.
I don't have the nicest hands.
Well, I was
start
going to
with.
say, as a keeper, you've got Poppet on hand, so a few broken fingers, par for the course.
It was actually my first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, keeping
Jeez.
of 15 since I was 13, so it's over 15 years
You
now.
must
It's
be
my
just
first
taking them that clean, mate.
one. I wouldn't say that. Not taking them at all.
So we've got a double change here. We've got Nizakat Khan, and I
golden
like
arm.
I like this. I
Yeah.
really like this move from Kinchit Shah.
I think it was coming right after those last 2 overs of Ayush and Wallace. I think the writing was on the wall for a bowling change as well as they did, and Nizakat, the Golden Arm, obviously got Mo out yesterday.
The Mo man. How well did Mo bat? He batted well.
He batted excellently. He's a gun player.
I mean he takes his chances, and it's a little bit hero or zero stuff sometimes.
But you say that, of
but
course.
he's dangerous. You know,
He
like
is.
if you don't get him out, you know he's going to score really rapidly in any format.
Correct. But I think he played very sensibly yesterday, which is what was really quite
A
impressive.
couple of beautiful sixes just off his hip.
See you later.
I think that might be another drop catch.
I agree.
I think that is a drop catch. That looked very much. We'll have a look on the replay. That looked like bat pad for mine.
Yeah.
Or that squeezed straight out.
That's an
That has gone
easy
straight
catch
to the
as
fielder
well.
there. I think
Who is it?
it
under
might
the
be
lid?
Brett. It might be Longy. I can't.
Did you see him practicing short leg in the morning?
I don't think so. No, that's definitely another drop catch there. So 2 down now, and that's Azaz Khan.
So yesterday, Mo, who was obviously the short leg designate for KCC, he was religiously practicing the short leg stuff in the
This
morning
is
of.
good variation here from Nizakat Khan. That was the quicker one.
Using all his experience here,
He's
the
bringing
captain.
He's bringing out all the tools in the box.
He looked great when he was batting yesterday, didn't he? Nizakat?
Just not his day though. That one's cut away, sweeper, just a single.
It was Azaz that got Nizakat right yesterday, LB douche.
Yes, that's correct.
so he'll want retribution, as they say in the
Well,
trade.
he should have had it there.
He should have.
That was just squeezed out, and
That's a couple of
yeah,
drop
really
charges
disappointing. With both of these guys out in the crease have been out, been
so
dropped. So
that was
you know,
Azaz.
all of a sudden you change that to 7 for 213.
Correct, and that was Azaz was dropped on, I believe, 11. Jamie 8 single figures, and
In that ballpark.
I think let's see what those guys go on to score, because that could be crucial. Deep cover to Nizakat, so he obviously feels he's got a short ball in him, or a
Well
long
bowled.
hop in him.
Well bowled and well defended. So got the deep square there as well. Atkinson will hit in the air sometimes in that area.
Mid on quite deep. Is there could they scamper one to
I
Wallace?
think Jimmy would definitely be looking to take one to Wallace there. He's very deep.
He'd be going against the spin though, as he over concludes.
So where do we sit now? 48 overs gone, 5 for 213. KCC now leading by 72, and it looks as though the players are going to take a drink, and I think we'll take a drink as well and be back with you for the start of play in just a moment.
With the support of the Caravel Foundation, we were able to relaunch Cricket Hong Kong's Youth Player Pathway program in 2021. The vision was to create a sustainable pathway that provided more development opportunities to the youth cricketers in Hong Kong, with the ultimate goal of creating a sustainable, steady supply of players moving through.
So we're back here live now. Players have just had a drinks break, and play will get underway here in just a moment with Kinchit Shah getting us away here from the KCC Bowls green end. KCC now 5 for 213. Great effort this morning from the Hong Kong Cricket Club quicks, Tommy Shukla, Wallace. Lion-hearted performance, it has to be said.
Correct, lion-hearted, and two-day cricket, really, those lion hearts come out, you know. 50 overs, 20 overs, it's all done, it's all gone too soon. But this longer format really sorts the lions from the cubs.
Lions from the cubs, I like it, Tommy. And well defended there. Bowling some nice tight lines here, Shah.
Tight lines. Two dartish like balls so far. I wonder if he's going to chuck one up above the eye line.
Throw one up the eye line, yeah, throw above the eye line. I think you might be right, one's coming. Very nice there from Shah. So the lead for KCC now 72.
I've got to say, this next hour and 20 minutes, or hour and 10.
It's big, Tommy. It's big.
I think this will go some way to deciding what happens for the remainder of what has been an excellent Fincher Shield contest thus far.
Half a peel there by Shah.
Good stride in by Azaz.
Big stride, but I think it may have hit the pad first.
Yeah,
just sort of
I
squeezed it out. It's one of those ones where bat's super close to pad.
Was it outside the line yet?
Yeah, very much so. That one darted in.
Can see Azaz in terms of where he stood, probably on middle stump here. It's obviously not spinning. Could he get across to off stump and just really negate that LBW?
We shall see.
As the over concludes.
So one would think it would be Nizakat Khan to continue. Of course, Nizakat got that wicket in the last over yesterday.
To Mo.
To Mo Khan, the pocket rocket.
Yeah, there was a bit of uncertainty, I think, on.
Was there some conjecture, Tommy?
On the part of Mo, but we can.
Oh well, it's in the scorebook now.
Correct.
So I think he would have loved to have been not out overnight and come out this morning and let it rip.
I was reflecting on that this morning.
Beautiful shot there by Jimmy. He gets nice and upright, doesn't he? A lot of power.
Just very strong, but a strong, compact, solid technique, which is why he's just scored so many runs internationally, domestically.
Probably not a better hitter of the ball through cover in Hong Kong cricket, I would have thought.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Two very good batsmen here at the crease, Azaz, Jamie. It's going to take something to prize one of them out.
Well, of course, There were opportunities. Atkinson dropped, I think it was on 8 by Kutsia. I think it was Kutsia at second slip, and then Azaz Khan squirting one out to short leg there. And another one shelled, unfortunately, for Hong Kong Cricket Club. That one's powerfully struck, but basically he's picked the only man out there at mid-wicket. So
yeah, 1 yard either side, you've got to say that's 4. Albeit Wallace still fairly deep there. But ultimately, as a batsman, no need to use your feet in this scenario. Just let the bowler bowl to you, as Nizakat Khan does.
Oh, that's up in the air. Fielder coming in. And he's gone. Well, very disappointing shot there from Azaz Khan. Not sure who that was that caught that. Ayush Shukla, good catch. He had to make a lot of ground.
He did.
And looked easy in the end, but he was coming in at quite a rate of knots, and that's a taunting shot there from Azaz Khan. Uncharacteristic. Got a bit of a toppy edge, didn't he?
Yeah, we were saying that there is space down here over mid wicket. Perhaps that is what tempted him into what was ultimately an erroneous pull shot. I think big top edge. Ayush came steaming in from deep backward square. I thought he'd potentially overrun it, but he hadn't. He judged it perfectly.
So Nizakat Khan has come on and done the job for his skipper.
He does, and that is what we were referring to earlier, retribution. Azaz got Nizakat yesterday, Nizakat gets Azaz today, and that is the circle of life. It's the circle of cricket.
So 6 for 214 now, leader 73. Another couple of quick wickets here, Tommy.
Yep. I think
the deck chairs start shuffling.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, I think Jimmy Atkinson will still be comfortable. You've got Wakash, you've got Jay. You'd like to think you've got at least another 70 runs, 80 runs in the locker, and that would take obviously KCC up to 300, a lead of 160.
Yeah, they're still a long ways off that though, mate.
They are.
Well defended there by Atkinson.
Wakash Barkat, the KCC head coach.
I wonder if we'll see that that classy sort of shot over cover. He loves that, doesn't he?
I don't doubt that we will.
Just so strong in that area. Gets inside it. That's powerfully struck again by Atkinson, but straight to the fielder at mid-off. No run. And a great over there from Nizakat Khan.
Up and about.
They're up and about. So that's the end of the 50th. KCC 2 for 114.
Nizakat just acknowledging that catch from Ayush.
It was a good catch.
And you know, when it does go up, it goes up high. And especially in a 2-day game at deep backward square leg, you're not expecting the ball every ball. And you could go minutes, hours without seeing it, and you just got to always mentally be on it. Whereas 50 over 2020 at deep backward square, you're almost expecting it every delivery.
So Kinshit Shah, can he get in on the act here? He's bowled some really, really tight bowling so far. Let's see if he can knock over the new batsman.
Wakash, very, very relaxed.
Played down the ground, no run.
Yeah, it's the Wakash swagger.
Pretty relaxed cricketer, isn't he?
Yeah, I love it. I love watching him.
Oh, beautifully bowled, Kinshit Shah. Now, were you at the club, Tommy, when Wakash was sort of at the height of his powers with the gloves? Because he was quite a good keeper.
And he keeps reminding me about this. Funnily enough. I wasn't though, but I've heard he was a good
very
keeper.
tidy.
I think it
on the back foot.
goes to show how talented he is, right? Keeping leg spinner now. Lower, explosive middle order batsman. Gun player. But every player comes out to the crease on 0, Collins, and
correct.
they've got to get going.
Jimmy just taking his time here.
Doing a hop, skip and a jump.
Getting the gloves right, getting everything spot on. In comes Kinshit Shah.
That was that more flighted one that we discussed.
Full toss. Probably would have liked to have done a bit more with that, Atkinson.
Potentially try and hit it slightly more square of that mid-on field. It's a couple now, right? He's got in his innings, full toss-wise, but
yep.
I'm not sure he'll be too worried. Solid. Yeah, he does have this daily or ball-by-ball routine, Jamie. He will fiddle with his gloves, ensure everything's in place.
Might have almost been one there, Tommy.
Potentially.
It's mid-off, very, very deep there. And that's the end of the over. Just the one run off it.
So Kinship bowling very, very tight. Less than 1 and over here.
Salty bowled 5 overs, 1 made, 3.
Yeah.
Nizakat Khan's looked dangerous with the ball today.
He has.
Bowled with a lot of variation.
And with a leg spinner, the doubt is in your mind. Even if they bowl a short one, and we saw that with Azars, you almost feel bound to go after it, and it just can sometimes lead to mistakes.
And worked away by Barkat to mid-wicket, no run.
There he is, outside, that off stump.
Out to the sweeper, single.
Leisurely single, could that have been 2, arguably?
Didn't look in too much of a hurry, did they?
No.
Pretty keen to just rotate the strike at this point.
Agree. Get off strike, I think, as a batsman coming in.
So Nizakat Khan now 2 for 8 off 3.2.
Great figures.
Very tidy numbers.
And it's a numbers game. Runs, wickets, catches. Jamie seeing a bit of rough there, patting it down, doing a bit of gardening.
And defended again, no run.
Little appeal from Kinship there. Adit talking a lot behind the stumps as Nizakat comes in.
Defended away to point.
Or is that Brett Long? I think it might be Brett Long who's trying to G everyone up.
Are you going to the lunch today, the VIP lunch, Tommy?
Absolutely privileged to have been invited. I got the email through.
You got the call up?
Yeah, got the email through earlier this week from Ashley. Very much looking forward to it. I think Nigel Shroff got a speech prepared. Saw him kind of noting down his points in the nest earlier.
It's Nigel, of course, the captain of cricket at the Kowloon Cricket Club. Should be a wonderful lunch down here today.
And then post that, looking forward to seeing how this game...
Very high, that one.
Yeah, pretty much hit him in the box. How this game concludes. Hopefully it doesn't peter out, as sometimes a longer format can.
You never know. Some twists and turns may still be yet to come.
Solid.
Barkat, I guess by nature, more of an aggressive player. He'd be needing to temper his usual aggressive game.
Yep, he usually bats with no inhibitions. I think it's fair to say. Now, I think that was the Dusra.
You've called it from here, Tommy?
I'm fairly sure it was. If we're having a look again.
Well defended. Well bowled, Fincher Shield.
There's a captain of Hong Kong, keeping them going in the field. There we go.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot there by Barkat.
At least 2.
Won't go for 4. They'll get an easy 2.
So that could see him making chase.
Just place that one.
Yeah, lovely.
No sweeper out there.
Open the face, didn't he? Ever so slightly.
But he does get inside out of it, doesn't he?
He does.
And especially to the quicker bowlers, loves going over that cover region.
100%. And those nets, you don't want to be you don't want to be running up in those nets when Wakas is batting from this end.
Oh, that one yorked him.
But you know, sometimes a batsman's greatest strength can also be their greatest weakness.
Yes.
So if there is any spin and he's playing against that through the offside, that could potentially present chances for Kinshit and KCC.
I'll defend it again.
At it, sprinting there between wickets. I like to see keepers do that. You know, the keeper, it really is the
Barometer.
correct, the barometer, the heartbeat, whatever you want to call it. And I think people and teams tend to pick up intensity levels as the keeper also does so.
So Jimmy Atkinson now 21 off 45. Wakas Barkat 4 off 11. KCC now leading by 77. 6 for 218. Sorry.
So Collins, you're leaving us soon.
Leaving on a jet plane. So
It'll be an emotional moment. You've spent
gonna be
what,
big.
12, 13,
20 years, mate.
20 years. Wow.
Yep. So heading back to Melbourne with the fam in December. I played there by Jimmy Atkinson, yeah, but probably not the last you'll see of us.
No, hopefully not.
Yeah, I think in a few years' time
You'll be back.
we'll wander back, I think. But just for now, time to get back. Haven't been able to see family for a few years because of obviously due to COVID, elderly parents and all the rest of it.
Of course.
Just sort of felt it was the right time to get the family back there for a while.
Needless to say, you'll be missed, not just around the club.
Thanks, Tommy. But
Comms box too.
so it's fair to say it's been a blast.
All right, 20 years. How quickly has it gone?
It's been a lot of water under the bridge in that time, mate. Oh, he's leaned back on that. That was a genuine sort of edge, wasn't it?
Spin taking it away to the boundary.
Down to third person there. And comfortable too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a blast, Tommy. I've loved every bit of my involvement in Hong Kong cricket, whether it be for KCC or with the national body. So yeah, it's been wonderful, massive part of my life.
Yeah. There's a cat in.
Oh, almost a chance there.
Almost, but I think that's
a short leg.
It's good batting in the end. I think Jamie knew that the Brett Long's breathing down his neck there. He just waited and waited and waited and then closed the face.
It wasn't far away,
It
Tommy.
wasn't. It wasn't. I'm just thinking out loud, could you almost get a leg slip in? That's potentially...
Well, that's ours.
Oh, Wakas.
Barkat will be very disappointed with that.
We were talking about
He just reached for that one, didn't really get anything much on it, and the simplest of catches there. So what was it? What, a shortish cover?
What were we saying? Strength and weakness.
Yes, indeed.
Two sides of the same coin.
Just reached at that one, and he'll be really disappointed with that. Big wicket there for Hong Kong Cricket Club. Now, I guess you'd say, into the genuine tail.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that to Jade Davidson's face necessarily, but I think as a HKCC team, they'll definitely feel that way.
Last of the recognised batsmen.
I think that's a more diplomatic way.
Is that better?
Certainly.
Apologies.
For Jay.
Apologies to all and sundry.
But look, Jay, and I was making this remark on comms yesterday with Scrivener. He fancies himself as a batsman. He can bat, and you know, if he could dig out a 30, as we said, trying to get way beyond that 250 mark.
It's been a great fighting performance this morning here from Hong Kong Cricket Club.
It has a necessary but excellent fight back.
Really simple catch there in the end to Kinshasa, wasn't it?
Yeah, basic.
And a bit of a nothing shot from Barkat, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed. I'll be disappointed. I don't think it was a particularly threatening ball, but...
So excellent performance here this morning. Hong Kong Cricket taking 6 wickets in this first session.
Yeah.
Sorry, 5.
Can they do before lunch? Could we
It's very possible.
Could we be commentating?
There's still 50 minutes of play left here before lunch, so yeah, absolutely.
What do you think? Of course, assumptions make idiots out of you and I, but what are you thinking? If they can maybe skittle them over the next 15-20 minutes or so, do you promote Coetzee up the order?
I would definitely have a good look at my batting lineup, and I'd be looking at getting my most aggressive players up the order. Nizakat Khan, Coetzee. Yeah, a bit of a reshuffle, I think.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Give them give your most aggressive players ample opportunity to score and score quickly.
Correct, because you just don't know. Funny things can happen. That's the thing with cricket. You've never quite seen it all. You think you have. It kind of teases you and tempts you into thinking that you have, but as soon as you think that, you're made to look a bit of a wally.
I guess.
The balcony is getting more and more populated. A few white shirts, a few ties.
Dignitaries begin to stroll in.
Yeah, I see Caddy's still repping the casual look, but he'll be up and about later in his
get
white
in the
shirt and
telephone
tie.
box later and come out as Superman. The old tie on.
Seem to be having an intense debate up there. But as our attention span back, it looks like Kinshit's going for the jugular here, Collins, bringing back Shukla. Deep point. Does he want to give Jamie the single here and Shukla against Jay? Potentially, I think that's what he's thinking. I think Jamie's going to still bat like Jay is a batsman. I think once Atiq and Ahan come in, perhaps he starts thinking more closely about how to farm the strike, but as we are, Yush comes in, strides to the crease, and that single.
Easy one there. I think Jimmy's just going to play his natural game. If it's there to hit, he's going to hit it.
Yeah.
But I don't think we'll see anything too cavalier from him just at this point.
No, I completely agree. No need. Right, 2 slips, a gully. Would you like to see third slip in? Take the cover out. Is there any need for that so early in Jay's innings? Or are you fine with this?
No, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I think cover now coming in a bit tighter. I like the idea of that, just getting under the batsman's nose a little bit.
Yeah.
But Jay can certainly hold a stick.
He can.
Doesn't get a lot of opportunities in this batting lineup to get much time in the middle, but certainly got an opportunity today.
Yeah, he can hold a stick. He's been pining for that opportunity, I think, through the season.
Well, he's got one today.
Yeah, and look, it's not as if he's batting with the tail here, Jay. He's batting with arguably the #1 player in Hong Kong, so he can, I suppose, bat with that freedom as Ayush comes in.
And a good leave there from Davidson.
Good leave. I think he had a look.
Did he have a look, Tommy?
He had a Stewards, but ended up tempering his instinct and left well outside the off stump, and Adit did the rest as a keeper. See that HKCC have gone for the white floppies over the caps.
Well, it is a sunny, warmish day, isn't it?
It is. And that
well defended there by the Namibian Nightmare.
Perhaps that felt is hotter than it looks. But as a romantic and as a traditionalist of cricket, I would have opted for the cap.
You prefer the caps on you?
Maybe one day.
Well defended there by Davidson.
Looking solid so far. Obviously still early days. Had it shouting you and me Ayush, you and me boy. So obviously trying to get him up, encouraging him. I think they're good mates actually. Aggressive run up of Ayush. Shot by
That's
Jay
beautifully
Davidson.
played by Jay Davidson.
Great effort by the fielder.
Fairly short boundary down there, but he did not stand a chance.
No, he creamed that.
Is it Charlie Wallace down there?
It is, and that was Ayush just straying onto leg stump, and they always say that it doesn't matter if you're a batsman or not, that's the last place you want to be bowling to anyone with a bat in hand.
He clipped it away beautifully, didn't he?
Oh
Great
yeah,
timing.
beautiful. For a tall man, he held his balance there perfectly. Bam, off, see you later. Bit of a swagger, bit of a follow through. And that's what the fans come to see. As Nizakat continues his spell. KCC double Nelson now for 7 wickets.
Double Nelson.
Well, we were double Nelson before that 4 runs.
Now, if Jimmy does have a bit of a, I guess, I don't know, I want to call it a weakness, but occasionally just tries against the spinners, can try to sort of cut the ball a little bit too close to his body. So need to be careful of that here against Khan. Go on the sweep there, but just a bit of pad. They should get a couple, and they do easily.
Can lead buys, or is that a bit glove?
I think he's going to leave. Yep.
Yeah, it runs.
Must have got a little bit of glove on it.
Jamie on the sweep. First time we've seen that this morning, and potentially in his innings, right?
Yeah,
so is that
he
a sign
does
of
like to
things
sweep.
come?
He does like to sweep.
Good on the sweep, is he?
So Nizakat Khan now 3 for 13 off 5.
Yeah, handy figures. I guess going back to that sweep shot, do you think Kinshit's potentially thinking about bringing a short, fine leg in to negate that? Let's see.
I don't think you'll mind him sweeping.
No. I agree. Because Jamie fiddles with his
He gets fidgety,
gloves.
doesn't he?
He's a fiddler.
He's a fiddler.
Solid in defence.
Might try and come up with a better descriptive word there.
Yeah, in retrospect, fiddler potentially is not a...
Ideal.
Not for Jamie, not for anyone.
Defended away.
Brett Long still getting in the ear, buzzing about in the ear, and that's what he needs to do. Is a short leg. You are in a privileged position really to be right under the nose of the batsman, and as Nizakat comes in, I think it's important that they're as aggressive as possible, really, just and annoying as possible. Just be like a
pest.
mosquito, yeah, that's always buzzing around. Not that Jamie, I think, would pay too much credence to it, but nevertheless, as the field comes in. Oh, that's
Very
a good-
high, but
Oh.
umpire John Prakash unmoved.
Yeah, just when you're back to the spinner and it hits you on the pad, it
You got
just
to be careful.
it looks like it was going down leg, quite frankly,
I think it was very high.
and high. So Jamie moves to 27. 27 not.
So about 40 minutes play left here in this first session. It's a big 40 minutes, Tommy.
Yeah, big 4-0. I think HKCC, their ambition will be obvious. It will be to try and get these last 3 wickets. And for KCC, it's about consolidating, getting to lunch without another wicket falling, preferably. But here's the contest. They obviously feel Ayush has got the wood over Jay, and he comes up to the crease, full, defended solidly to cover.
Right on the money again, Shukla.
Yeah. Yeah, just he's got to ensure he puts all 6 there. That's the thing as a batsman, if you know the odd full one on leg stump or the odd short one's coming, you can.
I was going to say, does he slip in the odd short one here?
I think so. I mean, if you do that, you'd probably want to be pushing square leg back, or at least pushing back anyway to put the doubt into Jay's mind. But at the moment, oh, add it.
Oh, unfortunately, that is going to be 4 byes.
4 byes, add it. That's
it did keep low. It did
keep
low.
But
to be fair,
ultimately, you got gloves on for a reason, Collins. And
got to get.
And if you can't use your glove, just use, to your point, use anything. But I still feel that he's potentially too far back, and I made this point yesterday.
Yeah, I did as well, actually. I think he has actually come up a little bit today.
Right, yeah.
But whether it's still enough. He was certainly well set back early in the KCC innings yesterday.
He was. So Yush comes in. Just on your point about the short ball, Collins, I just, if he bowls it here, it's a really risky. Without Scrivener back on the boundary, it's a risky one. It's
I think they've
like
got Charlie Wallace down there at a sort of
fine
a wide-ish fine leg.
Yeah. But Jay, big, tall, levers, he'd be backing himself to clear Scrivener at least, if anything. And as we say that, Scrivener goes back.
Oh, they've read our mind, Tommy.
Oh, well, what can you say about that?
Now, is this the sucker ball? Is this the one you think's going to be short and it ends up around your toes?
Well, you know.
This could be the Yorker.
Mystic Meg here.
Or is he going to dig it in short? Let's see. Oh, that was went for the Yorker. Went for the Yorker.
You never lose it, do you, Collins? You never lose your game awareness.
Oh, dear. Couldn't quite get it on the money there.
But I like this because, you know, he can bowl that short ball with abandon, as they say, and it also leaves a doubt in Jay's mind as to whether it's coming or not.
Absolutely. I reckon it might be coming here, Tom.
I agree.
Oh no, beautiful delivery, but lovely shot there by Jay
Davidson.
Davidson. Jeez, he struck that well.
He did.
Good bit of fielding down there. Won't go for 4. Just the 2, but jeez, he struck that sweetly.
Yeah, lovely on drive. I think it's they always say it's a sign of a batsman in form when they're showing the maker's name back down the ground, and certainly through the mid-on region. It means that the balance is good, the angles are good, the head's coming down the line, the hands are coming through just as you want them to be as a batsman. So good signs, but Ayush, perhaps that's going to tempt him into bowling the ball.
Well, there it
comes.
is. Hey, way, whoa.
In the words of the weekend, I feel it coming.
You beauty. That was a good one too. It was nice and straight. It was on line, bang.
And Jay got his 6 foot.
Twinkle toe Davidson.
Yeah, got his 6'5" frame down, stump level.
He's a big man, isn't he?
He is a big man.
He's trimmed down though.
He's trimmed down. We keep remarking on
know,
this.
we
Yeah, he's. But it needs to be said. You know, it's.
Twinkle toes Davidson.
Yeah, he loves it. He got low. And he gave a usual little stare as well, which I think is important.
I think it might have been a bit of a smile, a wry grin.
Yeah.
He's quite the competitor, Jay.
He is, as is Ayush.
Indeed.
Lots of ticker, as they say in, I think, Australia.
Yes. So it'll be Nizakat Khan to continue. Figures thus far of 3 for 13 of 5 overs, or 6 overs, sorry. Bold and well played.
KCC up to 234 for 7, so a lead of 93. That lead of 100, psychologically more than anything else, is
I tend to agree.
Important. Oh, that's what you were talking about, right?
Yeah, that one was wide enough, I think. I think it just, the bounce did him.
Is that a sign of the pitch becoming?
But he does have a tendency of sort of trying to cut the ball off that sort of fourth, fifth stump area. That one was definitely there to hit, but it's the one that's sort of over a foot or so close to the stumps that sometimes he gets himself a little bit, tight in there.
Yeah.
You know? Just doesn't give him. Yeah, that was definitely there. Bit of turn, and maybe bounce to him as well.
Again, does a bit of gardening. Picks up what would have been a frustrating looking, probably bit of grass as the pigeons come to graze. They're very loud today, aren't they?
They're very close to the commentary box down here. Heavily seated area.
It's like they're eyeing us up. Unfortunately, they're not on the menu for lunch.
I did order the spotted owl though.
Charlie Wallace picks up at mid-on.
I went for the endangered species menu today. Minke whale for Maine.
Yeah, spotted owl. I wonder what that would taste like.
That one's short.
Punched.
And that will conclude the 58th over. KCC 7 for 344, leading by 93.
So we've got what, 35 minutes
35 minutes is what do we get in 35 minutes? Might get 8 or 9 overs?
Yeah,
One
I
would
think so. Nizakat going at less than 2, 3 wickets. To your point, 13 runs. Good overs there. Good overs, good figures. Change your bowler here. Kinshit's back.
Back on.
Guess who's back?
It is back again.
Kinshit's back.
I thought he bowled really well in his first spell. Really tight lines.
He did. He
looked dangerous.
Yeah, he wanted to give a Yusha flutter perhaps for 2 overs just to see what happened.
You know, at the end of the day, they've got to wrap up these 3 wickets quickly. So, yeah, ringing the changes.
Yeah, indeed. Wonder if we'll see the return of Charlie Wallace as well. The issue is Nizakat's bowling so well. From
Yeah, I
that
don't
end.
think you'll be taking Nizakat off. I don't think.
No. Solid Jay.
I mean, he looks very composed with the stick in his hand, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He.
One shorter. And negotiated quite easily there, Davidson. So I guess he'll just be having a bit of a look.
He will. Bit of a steward's inquiry.
An investigation.
Yeah, he was in good spirits last night, Jay.
He was.
I think he opened up really well.
He did. He went for a few.
He did.
But he did get the wicket. Obviously the stars of the show were Azaz Khan 5 for 44 and Tariq Iqbal, who just moseys along and does his thing and picked up another 4 wickets.
Yeah, I kind of referenced the fact that Atiq almost flirts with you as a bowler. He's kind of smiling at you all the time. He's teasing you with the way that he bowls, and I think that flirtation obviously yielded 4 wickets yesterday.
Yeah, it's just so hard to get away. I mean, we call it the great squeeze when you've got Atiq working at one end and Dan Pascoe at the other.
Oh yeah, I mean,
that sort of combo is
boa constrictor-esque.
Strangled a number of teams in their time. As Kinshit continues.
Flights one up.
High Tabrak unmoved.
I think he had to think about it.
I don't think there was any bat in it, so
no, we'll see. It was
again,
a bit of spin actually. It felt like
to turn a little bit.
Maybe outside the line.
Yeah, I think so. We're bowling well here, Shah.
Indeed.
As the dignitaries continue to flow in here on the balcony.
A few blue jackets now.
Rodney Miles, James Callow, it looks like up there. Oh, that one's kept low.
Jay.
Almost got through him.
Yeah, Jay wants to be keeping that big front leg nice and down the track, I think, to Kinshit. No need to go back.
See KCC cricket section committee member Johnny Narang there looking splendid in all his finery there.
Indeed. Perfectly tailored jacket from Sam's Tailors, and
we love Sam.
He does. We can, anyone from the section can go down and get their blazer, which is almost, if I was to describe it, a Masters winner.
It is.
Green
it's very
jacket.
very Masters-like.
with the KCC crest embroidered onto the left hand pocket, breast pocket.
Looking very smart, isn't he, Johnny Narang? Have a look at him.
He is, with his Ray-Bans. He looks
looking cool as a cucumber.
With his moutarde chinos. Nizikat puts it where he's been putting it for most of his deliveries.
Yes, he's been very difficult to get away. Really hasn't given the batsman too many loose deliveries to pounce on. Well defended away by Atkinson. So you think Jimmy just will look to play out this this session?
I think so. I don't necessarily. Obviously, he will. If the ball's there to hit, he'll hit it. But I don't see any need to do anything other than what he and Jay are doing now. Just bat sensibly, bat long, and I think get up to around that 150 lead as Nizikat comes in. Slightly shorter.
Oh, that's beautifully played there by Atkinson. There is a sweeper out there though.
There is.
Scrivener, but they get back for a second. A slight misfield there out on the sweeper boundary, but good running between these two. Two big men out there.
Yeah, the big boys on the boundary. But I think to the point, those sorts of deliveries will come. So if you can get two here, one there.
Bit of patience required.
Patience. Patience is a virtue as Nizikat comes in.
Ooh.
Soft hands from Atkinson. Ball drops about 1.5 yards in front of first slip. Hint of turn there, so
slow turn though.
Slow turn. I wonder if Pascoe's starting to observe.
Worked away. A bit of bat on that, I feel.
Yeah, you would have thought so. Two noises as Brett
See
Long.
what umpire John Prakash says, and he agrees. So that's the conclusion of the 60th over. KCC 7 for 236, now leading by 95. Atkinson on 29 from 67, Davidson 6 from 18. Looking fairly comfortable out there, Davidson.
He is. Not to put the mockers on him.
No, we don't want to give him the commentator's curse, as we do so often.
We do indeed. And I think, look, Jamie will just be his appetite for runs knows no bounds. So I think he'll just be wanting to camp in, go big, especially after lunch, as we approach the final 29 minutes of this highly engaging, competitive session.
It's been a really good session. Been plenty of runs, plenty of wickets.
88 for 5 in the session.
Yeah, 88 for 5 in the session, according to our IT and statistical guru over there, Nitesh. Oh, that's a beautiful shot by Atkinson.
Extra cover drive.
Oh, I fancy that may go all the way. Fielder's making a great effort, but it is gone for 4.
Beautiful
played
shot.
That well.
You know, Collins, we say cricket's a game of angles, isn't it? And Kinchit coming round the wicket, I think, just gives Jamie that angle to go through the extra cover, more so than if he was coming over the wicket. I don't think he necessarily... I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to mix things up, but...
That brings up the 100 lead that you were talking about,
indeed.
the psychological barrier, perhaps, Tommy. That's a full toss, and that one's whacked away down there to deep mid-wicket. Geez, he could have nearly done anything with that one.
He could. Could have been pool bound, perhaps in a 20-20 or 50 over game.
Full toss, leg stump.
That would have been pool bound, but alas, today a single suffices.
Indeed. So it'll be Davidson now on strike.
Kinchit remains around the wicket.
Oh, he's gone the paddle.
Lovely. Deft. Deft.
Pulling out all the tricks now.
Yeah, we did say he's good with a stick in hand, and he's obviously showcasing that today. Got the long handle out, down on one knee, little paddle. As Kinchit now comes over the wicket.
Well, there's that
there
sweep
we go,
from
and
Atkins.
that's 4 bits.
Beautiful shot. Just guided it away down there. Fine leg's really quite wide.
Yeah, I don't know why he's there. You either, because remember Kinchit's not bowling the same as a Yush. I mean, maybe he's trying to prevent that sweep shot, but it just invites the finer paddle sweep, as Jay and latterly Jamie showcased just then.
That one just squeezed away there to square leg for a single. It's been a good over so far here from the KCC.
It has. 9 from it.
Very handy runs.
Or 10 from it.
That lead now out to 106. So you think that 150 mark, you reckon there's a chance of that sort of a lead, do you think, Tommy?
Well, if they keep batting the way that they are, I think that could even come before lunch, although...
Oh, I think that might be a bit of an ask, but you never know.
Yeah.
So that concludes the 61st over. KCC now moving on to 7 for 248, a lead of 107.
Nizakat, I believe, will resume his what has been so far fantastic
You got to keep
spell.
him going. You got to keep him going.
Something about leg spinners. I don't know what it is.
How do you go against the spinners, Tommy?
Arguably, it's one of my development areas, I'd say.
Development area. Work in progress.
Yeah, a WIP, a whip. I much prefer pace on the ball.
So you've just given the heads up to all the opposition out there, Tommy.
Yeah, well, you know.
You go out to open the bat and the spinners will be straight on. Or have you lulled them into a false sense of security?
I could have done that. I could have done that. There's a cat. And HKCC wanting Jamie just to get the single here.
Worked away very
strike.
nicely. It's been a good innings, Mac. And so I know he was. He should have been out. He should have been out. Let's call it for what he is. What it is. He was, dropped there at second slip, but really since then he's batted very sensibly.
Unbelievably. As a captain, we'll always want to go out there and try and impart our abilities to the benefit of the team. And he's done that, Jamie. Up to 40 now, 72, strike rate of 55, so highly measured innings thus far.
Oh, that may be 4 more.
The runs are coming. Is that buys again?
I fancy it might be buys, but let's see what umpire John Prakash has to say. And that is 4. What is it for? 4 buys.
Bye, Miss American Pie.
So we've had a few buys this morning.
Yeah, never like to see that as a fellow keeper.
As a keeper, Tommy, does it pain you?
Yeah, buys. Well, drop catches number 1, buys number 2.
Okay.
But that is down leg side. But I think he's Hong Kong keeper, right? So he'll want to be taking those sorts of takes. And
terrific young player though, Adit.
He is.
A lot of potential.
A lot of potential.
Oh, umpire John Prakash has given him. Atkinson doesn't seem very happy with the decision at the other end, but anyway,
that looked fairly adjacent.
That looked pretty adjacent to me, but
was that the other one? Maybe. Yeah, Jamie's body language. Anyway,
so Jay Davidson now back in the pavilion. KCC now 8 for 252.
Lead by 107. As Ashley Caddy, the director of cricket,
geez, have a look at him. He's looking $1 million.
We did say he was going to.
Got the shades on. He's looking the goods.
We did say he was going to go into the telephone booth, right, Collins, and come out as Superman, and he's kind of exceeded all expectations as well.
Look at him go.
Got the rollie on. Wow. Solid from the DOC there.
Indeed.
I like that. Just off-white chinos.
The off-white, the beige, the cream, the bone, the ivory.
Yeah, the moutarde that John is showcasing.
It's all happening. So still 20 odd minutes left in play here before
Do you reckon a Han or
taking the lunch break.
A Han.
So genuine opportunity here for Hong Kong Cricket Club to get KCC out.
At what point would the lunch break come before HKCC have to come out and bat?
I think it's beyond 10 minutes.
Okay.
I think.
So let's see what these next 12 minutes yield. So we get up to 11:38. Obviously lunch at 12. So that cut-off is 11.50.
How does Jimmy handle this situation now? Obviously, you've got a Han and a Teak to come. Does he
I think you now
start looking to play some shots? Not that he hasn't been playing shots, but I mean, does he start to up the tempo a little bit?
He'll potentially be thinking about that, yeah. He'll be wanting to farm it. Although that being said, perhaps that's unfair on Han. I think he scored 20 or 30 last 2-day game against up at HKCC. So he can certainly bat. Young player with a lot of fight, lot of ticker as well, as they put in a leg slit, which I quite like, and a silly point. Love this.
Good pressure. Good pressure indeed.
Field only a 2-day game could yield, I think, Collins, and that's why we love this format of the game.
That one worked away off the pad, perhaps.
Yeah, I think that sounded very.
Should be a
thigh.
Just taking the one. There was definitely two there, but Atkinson looking to get on strike. Now he does have the short boundary he's hitting to down the ground here. Will he look to take Nizakat Khan on straight down the ground?
Well, I think Nizakat feels like that is what he's thinking, because he's dropping the two back, as we have one ball to come in this over.
I don't think our scoreboard's updated here.
Yeah, that's
Is there one to come? How many? Oh, okay. That looks high and leggy. Looks like there are two to come, I think. The umpires just motion to each other, so perhaps Jamie goes big this ball and tries to scamper a single last ball of the over. KCC up to 248 for 7 now.
I think there's another boundary to go on that. I think our scoreboard here, he's taken the single there. I think our scoreboard here is a little bit delayed.
Yeah.
For some reason. Yeah. What's the score, Nitesh? Is it? It's 252, 253. Sorry.
255 for 8.
255 for 8. Thank you. Our scoreboard just freezing up here.
Ah, okay. Okay, sure. Thank you. 254 for 8. That is a lead of
You need to get
113.
You need to get your abacus out, Tommy.
Gotta love an abacus. It is Luke Jones, I think it looks like. Is
Yes.
Jonesy batted very well yesterday.
He certainly did.
Battling knock.
Him and Kinshit Sharp went on a good partnership.
Nenad.
Oh, sorry, Nenad Sharp. Nenad 44, Luke Jones 40.
Now it'll be interesting to see what Jamie does. Obviously the field is spread, almost enticing Jamie to take the single. It'll be interesting to
Looked
see
at the
what he
swimming
does.
pool side. Oh, and that's edgy.
And will the spin take it towards the boundary? It's certainly going to be 2.
Charlie Wallace will get around and save that, and he does.
Good arm.
Easy 2. Definitely a bit edgy, but a short boundary down there.
Indeed.
If he gets any sort of meat on the shot, it's going to be 4 runs if it's 5 yards either side of that fielder there. So definitely risk reward.
Correct. And it looks like they're looking to plug that gap now. They feel no need anymore for a short leg to Jamie Atkinson.
Yeah, I think good call.
That's Kinshit at backward point. Oh no. It's been overruled. Is that a captain getting overruled? Maybe not one for us to speculate.
No, he's going to
on.
stay in there. I just don't really see the point of having that guy in there now.
I agree.
Maybe with a young fella on strike, but
100%. Googly.
Jamie will probably pop one up straight to him now. I think he might be looking to use his feet here against Jones.
You think so?
Well bowled.
Though Jonesy can bowl slightly shorter one, so
long. We've got a long on, a long off. So plenty of singles out there.
there's a here we go boys ushers Jones into the crease. Jamie on 44 now.
Squeeze that one out for a single.
I think leaving a Hahn to face either one or two deliveries. Yeah. Young Hahn, good off spinner. Obviously didn't get much of a chance yesterday, but that is the game sometimes, isn't it, Collins?
Yeah, I mean, as we've spoken before, it's horses for courses. Dan Pascal thought bowled very well. Didn't get any wickets, but
solid.
Yeah, only went for 1 and over. So yeah, just depends on the game. I mean, obviously with a Hahn, he prefers to bowl to the left-handers as well. So
absolutely,
it really depends who's at the crease at any given time.
Jones gonna look to rip one. Oh,
Jamie sending him back.
Jamie. And it was just the one. So Jamie playing sensibly here, intelligent cricket. Hahn obviously felt he could have made it, but Jamie said, "No, young man, you stay there." As the 63rd over concludes, KCC now 258 for 8.
So good run rate, bit over 4 and over.
Yeah, it's been a really good run rate. I think really that was Mo and Bubba.
Yeah, late yesterday especially.
Yeah, late yesterday, as so often it is. Best time to bat, late in the day. Fatigued bowlers, fatigued fielders.
Here's a Cat Khan now, 4 for 18.
Yeah.
Can he get him a shell? Can he get him a shell?
He's gonna really want to get that. Now Jamie has got a choice to make, really. Trying big early doors, or does he do that? I think he's just waiting for the right ball. Brett Long mentioning that HKCC don't mind this, fellas, which is obviously an enticement to Jamie to try and plant one into the Sun Lounge. Let's see if he takes up that invitation.
Quicker one there from Khan.
Not so far.
Or genuine Nick.
No, it's not.
And has not taken it. Very tough one, but to his right. Oh, just did it.
That's the third one that's gone down today. The second off Jamie, of course, that is a difficult chance, right? But
yeah, that one was a much more difficult one.
If you get a mitt to it, I just wonder as a fielder, you're always disappointed. Nizakat really wants his 5.
Certainly deserves it.
He does. Luke Jones, bullet arm, a dit. So Hahn has 2 to face, and predictably the field comes in, and we're up to 11:47 now. So we're getting to the stage that if they did take these last 2 wickets,
it would be lunch.
It would be lunch, which as an opening bat, you don't mind that, quite frankly. As we have a silly point, or forward silly point really. Forward short leg, a leg slip, 2 slips, 2 conventional slips, a mid-wicket point cover mid-off, or mid-on I should say, not mid-wicket. So a highly aggressive field as you'd expect, as Nizakat comes in, and a Hahn. Kind of guides that straight into the ground.
Well played, young man.
Quite right. Character building this, as bread rolls get wheeled behind us.
And
Good
well
lead
left
by Hahn. So Jamie faces up for what will be the 65th over. of this KCC innings. A few people remarking on the drop catches in the comments. Catches win matches. And KCC in a good place at the moment, leading by 118. Still only 8 wickets down, with Jamie, the captain of the KCC ship, still there on 46, not out. Well bowled by Luke Jones, really got that to flight, spin. Jamie, legitimate play and miss there. There's 2 slips, line wait for that edge.
Oh, wasn't quite there, was it?
No.
Really needed to use his feet if he was going to get out to that one.
Yeah, he had what they say in the industry, had a flirt. And Jones is getting them to spin now. Pascoe definitely will.
That one's gone fine, but it won't go all the way. They'll come back for a second.
Throw to the bowler's end. Back to Jones. Runs. Takes Jamie to 48. Will he get his 50 before lunch?
Well, we're still got about 10 minutes. So should be at least another 2 or 3 overs.
I think so. Farming the strike very well here, Jamie Atkinson.
Cut away
Giving
for a single.
Almost religiously facing the first 4 balls of each over and giving young Ahan just 2 to get through.
Yeah, it's sensible batting from Atkinson.
And sensible from Ahan, knowing his role in the partnership, knowing what he needs to do, nothing silly. He's got a good head on his shoulders. So despite all those men surrounding him, I think he'll remain unflustered.
So lead now up to 121.
Yep.
And obviously the longer the KC out there, they're taking time away from the game, of course. So that's crucial as well. Well played,
defended
Ahan.
Ahan. What he did there was really, with spin, you need to be defending with your bat as opposed to your bat and pad. And
He got well out in front of it, didn't he?
Correct.
So one more ball here for him to navigate.
Again,
and well done.
Bat in front of the pad, solid, straight into the deck. And whatever happens now, we will take lunch after either at 12 or if 2 wickets fall.
I'd say we'll probably get at least 2 in, but maybe a third.
Yeah, HKCC don't seem too
much in a hurry.
Yeah. I know as a batsman you'll probably be. This is the kind of time when your laces start to become undone. Potentially
Call for
new
some gloves,
pair of
maybe.
gloves. Yeah. Your hands start getting sweaty.
We don't play like that, Tommy.
The dignitaries, Nigel Schroff holding court.
Oh, he is. He's loving it.
Yeah, he's very good at that. Probably one of the best operators in Hong Kong at holding court. As Nizakat comes in, Jamie refuses to take the single despite being on 49, and that just goes to show the commitment he has to his team and this club. Collins.
He's a ripper, Jamie. Been a fabulous player and a great leader at the KCC. You mentioned earlier, probably the best, if certainly in the best handful of cricketers in Hong Kong for sure. No run there.
That's second, so expect Jamie to face 1 more and then try and get a single for a young Ahan to face up 2.
That one's short and cracked away. Geez, you hit one that well. You want to take at least a single, don't you, Tommy? We would have taken all of his powers there not to take anything for that.
But his chance will now come, so this is the 4th delivery.
I mean, do you not bring a couple in?
Yeah,
to try
to
try and stop him getting the single, because anything on the bat's a single out there.
Yeah,
There we go.
And that's
I just think
50.
that's a bit easy, isn't it?
It is. Maybe Fincher didn't realise.
Great 50 to captain Jimmy Atkinson.
as he doffs his stick to the crowd and to his teammates.
I would have been tempted to bring a couple in. You can't just allow that.
I agree with you. I think the whole point of this field is to have the people out for the first three, but then you bring them in to ensure that he then has to take the risk getting off strike.
Yep.
And that was a fairly riskless single. It was a
any bat on ball. I mean, basically all the fielders are on the fence.
Correct.
Right?
So Hahn now has two to. That looks out.
And John Prakash has given him.
Right on the toe there, Hahn, I think.
That looked very adjacent.
Yeah, that's, as they say, dead as a dodo.
Dead as a dodo. Definitely gone. So that's 9 down now for 263, leader 122.
And I think now Jamie will start to...
Well, he's got it.
Get the long handle out.
Well, I think he's been sort of looking for it. I just don't think he's had anything in his wheelhouse to really get under and have a crack at.
Yeah. So what are your, I guess, looking further afield now, Collins, into the afternoon session, what are you thinking? How are you predicting that this match is going to...
Well, with the leaders say 120, 130. Like I said, I mean, Hong Kong Cricket Club have got nothing to lose. I think they've got to switch around their batting order, get their most aggressive players up the order, play it like a 25 over game, 30 over game, try and knock these 120 off really super quick, and try and give themselves 100 or so if they can to bowl maybe us, KCC out in the last session. It's their only chance, so they've got to come out with all guns blazing. It doesn't matter if they get if they lose, and they get rolled quickly, so be it. But to give themselves a chance to win, they're going to have to play very aggressively. Correct. Because obviously time's getting away from them now, so.
And is this your final stint today in the commentary?
This will be my final stint. I'm going to enjoy a lovely VIP lunch, my spotted owl. And I may even have a couple of cheeky glasses of vino.
It's the least you deserve, Collins, for everything that you've done for KCC and Hong Kong cricket over the past 20 years, I guess.
And cheers, mate.
They're extending the session by 30 minutes because 9 minutes down.
Oh, I see.
So we're extending the session now. That's all happening.
So 9 wickets down, that means they're extending the session by 30 minutes. As Nizakat goes in search of his 6th. I was just wrapping up for setting you up for an emotional goodbye there, Collins, but it may be that we now have to put that farewell, not goodbye, farewell on hold. It may be that we need to be fashionably late to this luncheon.
It's cutting into my my 7-year block time.
And your spotted owl.
My spotted owl, my Mickey whale.
Hopefully it doesn't get cold.
So Jamie Atkinson on strike here, Luke Jones bowling.
I think we're going to get the answer to our question soon as to how Jamie's going to approach it now.
I think he'll be having a go.
I just wonder if he...
Has been turning it a lot though, James. He'll need to be careful and get right to the pitch of it, otherwise he will run past it.
Yeah, I just wonder whether he'd prefer to attack what is certainly at the shorter end, but let's see.
Problem is Nizakat's been bowling a lot of quicker ones and short of a length, so it's really hard for him to get under it.
Yeah.
At this KCC pavilion end.
Lots of dignitaries now, lots of suits, lots of stripes. Is that a wide ball? No, 2-day game.
Some latitude given.
Indeed. Good spin. Pascoe definitely going to be licking his lips at lunch. Jamie nonchalantly leaves it out there as if to say, nope,
I think
that's
this
not
is
getting
definitely
past
a
me.
deliberate ploy to bowl wide outside off to him. Might you see the reverse? If he's going to bowl wide outside off, you might see Jimmy come out with the reverse here.
And it is on. I mean, obviously you've got Nizakat at deep backward point that could potentially cut off the ball, but if he gets it, fine.
Because this is definitely a ploy here. Optimistic appeal there from the sweeper.
Yeah.
As Nizakat Khan now comes up from deep point into a regulation point. Looking to try and save that single as we discussed that previous over.
Indeed, I just wonder if they just lost track of the number of balls in the over, frankly, which can sometimes happen. I think Kinchit was a bit injured on the boundary, so they're having a bit of a debate on field as to who to keep back, who to bring up, and these are the sorts of questions that players like Jamie ask of the opposition as he flays one out to deep cover. Brett Long.
It's the single.
And a Tikit bow, the
also no mug with a bat, Atik.
No, and talking of people that can play through the covers, Atik can really, that lofted cover drive over cover, I've seen him play that on so many occasions for 6 runs, so it'll be intriguing as to whether he pulls that out or whether he reins it in. But you know, I think a lead of 123, KCC is sitting pretty here. So
what's happening here?
Brett Long. No.
Good soft hands there from Atik.
Comes out in a jumper.
And that's the over, the end of the 67th. KCC 9 for 264, lead of 123.
So I think this will be interesting. Maybe Jamie's just saying, look, Atik, just bat, mate. Just keep batting. Don't worry about much. As Charlie Wallace comes out to deep long on as Katsira, I think that is, comes out to deep mid wicket. So the boundaries are protected, and they have to be with Jamie on strike. In a very well-paced inning, strike rate of 52.58, which is there or thereabouts what you'd expect in a 2-day game. There's a cat going in search for his 6th.
Unbelievable bowling performance from this Cat Khan.
Jamie solid as ever.
What are his figures, Tommy?
There's a cat. This is his 12th over, but prior to this, 11 overs, 1 maiden, 20 runs, 5 wickets at a runs per over of 1.82.
Sensational.
Yeah, good numbers. 24 extras.
A few buys in that, I think, mate.
Yeah, 10.
That's that one I mentioned where it gets a bit too close to him.
Yeah. Just tries to force it.
Yep.
Yeah, very much. Keeper and slip is in the game if those sorts of shots are being played. Solid. I think Atkinson's just content just to keep batting the way he is. So that's 3 done. They still have everyone out, and it was at this point we debated whether they needed to bring them in, and they've still left them out.
That one yorked him, I think, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It's obviously
certainly looking for that. Was the only one he's really thrown up, and Atkinson really looking to give that the heave ho.
David Varley coming up. He was meant to be commentating this morning.
Yes, I believe he chose to head off to church. David, was it church? Did you put in a good word for me this morning?
I put in a good word. Didn't know who you were.
Oh, really? I might be a bit tough to save me, David, but lovely to have you.
Nice to be here. Terrific job. Tommy Heisinger's got the dulcet tones. I
has.
could listen to him all day.
He's a magnificent commentator, our Tommy.
Nothing's better than Tommy's that beautiful haircut he's got going at the moment.
And that one's gone straight down the ground. A beautiful shot from Atkinson. One of the few he's really had in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, I mean, they brought the guys up. Obviously, that ball previous. So I think Jamie just saw it as a good opportunity to skip down the track and flush it back past the bowler, showing the maker's name on the way through.
Now, David, lion-hearted performance here this morning from, especially from the quicks. Obviously, Nizakat Khan's been amazing with the ball as well. But I thought early doors, Shukla and Charlie Wallace really bowled with great heat and really good fire.
Oh,
And that one's
big.
gone. That is a big one.
Big. That's into the sun lawn.
That's the sun lawn that you were talking about earlier, Tommy.
It was, and the ball just lodges on the top of the net there, so I'm not quite sure what they're going to do.
Well, there's only really been a couple of balls that Nizakat Khan's thrown up, and it's certainly been costly. But David, what do you make of the state of play and where things are at?
Well, yesterday was completely and totally dominated by KCC. I just don't think Hong Kong Cricket Club played that poorly. I just think KCC just their execution, their determination, their skills when it came to cricket were just far superior than Hong Kong Cricket Club. They bowled in the right areas, took their catches, and it really was an amazing performance from Kowloon Cricket Club yesterday. And Hong Kong Cricket Club really need to lick their wounds overnight. Could have turned up today and gone through the motions and got thumped, but it actually really dug in deep. As you mentioned, Ayush Shukla, Charlie Wallace ran in hard, and while there's no doubt that Kowloon Cricket Club are a long way ahead in this game, Hong Kong Cricket Club have really showed a bit of fight today. Absolutely needed to keep this game alive. But I've been proud of the lads from a Hong Kong Cricket Club perspective. But you look at a guy like Jamie Atkinson, just been all class today, hasn't he? Just leading from the front, batting with a bunch of different guys, and he's just taking the game well away from the Hong Kong Cricket Club.
So play's been extended in this session, being 9 down. They've extended the session by half an hour. So obviously if a wicket falls sooner, that'll be lunch as well. But so it looks as though, who have we got here? Have we got Kinshit back on?
Kinshit back on to a teak.
And while we're having a little break here, now Tommy Heisinger made a very good 54 against the Hong Kong Cricket Club.
It was a wonderful innings.
Opened the batting, is that correct?
Yes, he did.
Opened the batting.
Yes, he did.
And apparently got injured. I use the word apparently. There's a lot of mystique around how you can make 54 and then suddenly see yourself out of the side.
No apparently, Files.
There's no apparently there?
No.
I
think you can evidence your finger here, can't you?
To be fair, I did break my finger a couple of weeks later up at KCC
Beautiful
actually against the Witherers.
Against the Witherers?
Yeah.
How did that happen exactly?
Second over of our innings, Shazeb Hassana, aggressive quick, comes in, one stays low, and I just caught one on the end.
Now I think you need to physically show the evidence to Val so he doesn't have any more of these conspiracy theories. Is that sufficient for you, Val?
That's as good as it gets.
Yeah, it's a nasty one.
But you must have been at the time, Tommy. You probably haven't played as much Premier League as you would have liked. To come in and get 54 in that game was a terrific effort. You must have been pretty happy with the innings at the time.
I was at the time, but obviously we ended up losing that game, which you're always looking to win games of cricket for the team. And while the 50 was great, I do feel like I should have gone on, and it wasn't obviously a great result for us, but an amazing experience nonetheless. I think listening to you folks in the commentary desk and just experiencing that big match feel was something that I really enjoyed, and hope going forward I might experience again. Absolutely.
Well, we thought you batted brilliantly, and I think there's no question you'll be playing quite a lot of Premier League cricket in the future. But this is very interesting. If you go back, only a couple of months ago, Hong Kong Cricket Club won the 2020 Premier League, Gencor Premier League, then won that first 50-over game in the normal round.
A quicker one.
Very quick.
And then all the momentum was with the Hong Kong Cricket Club in the Premier League side, and full credit to Kowloon Cricket Club, who turned it around, played brilliantly in the Gencor Premier League 50-over final, won convincingly, and then come out over the last couple of days and really lifted their standards and just playing really superior cricket to the Hong Kong Cricket Club.
It's been a good season. I think you can liken it to two heavyweight boxers slugging it out. One round goes to HKCC, another round goes to KCC, and that's what the fans love, right? An even contest, and I think that's what it's been through this season. Always played in the right spirit, and I think that connection between the two clubs is full both on and off the field, and this season's been yet more evidence of that.
And Forge in the commentary box as well, Matty Collins. You and I have spent plenty of time together.
A lot of time together.
My wife wants to know who you are. Wants to know if you're real.
Always real.
I'm AI.
She's had a bit of listening. Goes, geez, that man knows a lot about cricket. I said 2-time captain of cricket of the Kowloon Cricket Club. Not many people have had that on.
Oh dear. That's cut away there from Jamie, not taking the single.
Nice to see that the dignitaries are also, it looks like, postponing their lunch slightly to 12:30
How kind of them.
Absolutely.
as the morning session plays out in front of our very eyes.
Will we be seeing you up later, Tommy, or not?
I will. I've hung up my my shirt there, my tie, and my blazer. So once this session concludes, I'll have a bit quick spruce up, and you'll see me there.
Excellent. And I believe Liam Ginnivan's managed to weasel his way in as well, Matt Collins.
That is massive, because he wasn't able to get into there.
He couldn't get into the Hong Kong Cricket Club despite the begging and pleading. But I think
that was there to be hit.
Ash Caddy and Nigel Schroff have done him a favour, and we love it. He's captained the Wanderers before, been a terrific ambassador of cricket in Hong Kong, and his new side, the Craigengow Cricket Club, beat USRC.
He batted well yesterday, didn't he?
He's been batting well for very consistently, a lot of 20s and 30s, and USRC were undefeated in Saturday League. CCC had a great victory, so it really tightens the competition.
Correct, it opens it up.
Your Crusaders are sitting with 2 losses or 3 losses, Tommy?
We prefer to refer to it as 2 wins.
2 wins. But
both against HKCC sides, actually. The Gap Ramblers, which I think you were surprised to have lost that against us, but nevertheless, this is the game of cricket.
This is a well-deserved game, well-deserved win by the Crusaders. Played very well, and we saw the first look at it incredibly.
We struck that hard, but straight to the fielder there.
We saw the first look at an incredibly talented young left-hander called Samad. Is that
Samad?
He was spectacular. I can see him playing a lot of very high-level cricket for Cali Cricket Club.
I made comment, I think, in the 50 over final. I think he's the best junior cricketer I've ever seen come through the club. I think he's going to be an absolute star.
He's got a lot of talented young cricketers come through the club. He's under your tutelage.
He's 14 years of age. He plays with men. He doesn't look in any way, shape or form out of place. He's got the right sort of poise about him. He's got a really good head on his shoulders, and he just eats, sleeps and breathes cricket. And I can
Does he bowl as well?
He does, but he doesn't rate himself as a bowler. He's sort of considered himself a bat, but I can assure you he'll end up being an all-rounder.
I think your point about the head is the most important, especially you're looking at young men and young women coming through. You're looking for technique, you're looking for poise, but you're also looking for the mind, and that's something that Samad has in absolute abundance.
And I think the thing is, you do want. That looks as though the umpires are going to be taking lunch.
Was that the extra half an hour?
Well, it wasn't an extra half an hour at all.
I think Jamie's a bit thirsty.
Oh, okay. So just taking a pause. But yeah, I mean, you want good junior cricketers to be making runs against, in their various under junior age fixtures. But with Samad, I mean, getting him to play against men at such a young age, his development has just been super rapid, hasn't it, Tommy?
Absolutely. And he's
training and playing with men.
Batting at 6 this season. Quite frankly, I think we're going to get him up the order because he's that good. He's evidence that he's kind of ready for that step up, and he's just a wonderful young man.
Are the Crusaders and Tartars kind of evenly matched? I think Tartars probably just a little bit stronger.
You'd have to say Tartars are stronger on paper. We're almost the giant killers. We beat them last season, but we face them, I think, next couple of weeks actually. But yeah, on paper they've got a great side, Tartars. And
so it's Shah now to Atkinson. Defended, no run.
With the CCC result, they'll feel like they're right back in.
Absolutely.
In the contest.
So Gino got a few yesterday, did he?
Yeah, he got 30 odd yesterday, and Tommy Miles, the junior Hong Kong Cricket Club coach, playing his first game for CCC this season, hit 2 fours in the second last over to win the game.
Oh, that one's nudged away beautifully.
Late cut.
Deft. That may go all the way, and it does.
I don't think Nizakat fancied diving through a bunch of pigeons there.
No. It was beautifully guided away.
Yeah, he's not just muscle, is he, Jamie? He's deft.
Bit of touch there.
Yeah. Very nice touch. He's a big lad, isn't he? What do you be, 6'1", 6'2"?
He'd be every bit of 6'2". I think the only bloke in the team that might have his measure might be Jay Davidson. He'd probably be up around the 6'3", 6'4" mark.
Or Ash Caddy, but we've seen Ash
spiritual
Caddy,
leader.
The spiritual leader. He's been doing a nice
good
hands.
from Adit.
Very good hands there from Adit.
it's very hard in his keeping. I was listening to you guys asking about Arded and Ayush. It's actually Arded, Ayush, Raul, Sharma and Hussein who train every day together.
Great.
I think Hussein bowls about 50 overs in the nets every day. Raul hits about 300 balls. Oh. The young, guys who are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 have really come through the ranks together, and it's great to see. And that's what you need, as you talk about Samad.
Yes, Samad.
You need to be giving these guys opportunity because Matt Collins, you and I aren't getting any younger. I think Tommy's still at the top of his game, but
he's well and truly Tommy.
Considering I bowled a triple bouncer the last time he played here at KCC, which was very kind of Tommy not to mention, but I thought I'd get in first before it comes out. Wasn't my greatest delivery, I can tell you that. Didn't bowl
so
very well
shirts went off that day.
I came into it, 4 wickets and 4 wickets, and then it all fell apart, and we lost our first game in about 20 months. But Crusaders were too good that day under the tutelage of Tom Heisinger. It's all good cricket, good fun, and we're enjoying our cricket here at the beautiful Kowloon Cricket Club. Great ground, great atmosphere. Good to see Peter Fraser up there. The president does a great job, and we're just enjoying here at cricket at the Kowloon Cricket Club. Matthew and Tom, thanks very much for having us here. It's great to be here.
Yeah, look, it's been a great fixture so far. Magnificent weather. You could not wish for a better 2 days of weather. Outfield looking an absolute picture. Wonderful pitch itself. Obviously you weren't here early doors, David, but the wickets just come up an absolute treat. Oh, that's a great shot there.
Just picked that up. Really.
Quicker one there from Shah, and he's just picked that one up, and that's gone a long way.
We talk about using the pace off seamers often as batsmen, but as spinners you can also do it, certainly when they've got that flatter, quicker one in their armoury, and I think you saw that from Atkinson there. Just
so annoying for the fielding side when the tail wags, isn't it, David? You want to get in the sheds, you want to go out and have a bat, and
it's getting to a point where there's too many runs and not enough time. So
it's a combo, right? So
how long would we have left to go in the game? How many hours?
How many overs have we bowled today, Natesh? We'll just go to our statuses. 96 overs are supposedly we're supposed to have in the day. How many have we had in the first set, Natesh? 39. So what's that leave us with? 39.
51.
57. Sorry, my abacus wasn't working. So only 57 overs left in the play. So
and how far in front of Hong Kong?
144. So you'd have to play it as a. Let me think here.
You'd
have to play
overs.
25, 30 overs.
30 overs to get 250 to put 100 in front.
Yeah, and then it's highly unlikely, but mathematically impossible. Mathematically possible, David. So let's just
still got to get the last wicket, Matthew Collins.
That is true. That is true.
As Atik comes out in his new baggy green.
We love Tiki. And well played.
Atkinson obviously backing his fellow number 11 to block out. He's batting outside leg stump here.
He certainly is.
Now Jamie Atkinson was dropped earlier today. Is that correct?
On 8 or so.
And, was it a catchable catch, or
it was simple? Breadbasket stuff at second slip.
Really?
Unfortunately.
Off the spinner?
No,
off Charlie Wallace.
Oh, straight there.
Just probably as easy as second slip catch. Or
would you have gobbled it up as quickly as Matthew Bodfield gobbles things up at the Veggie Kingdom? How is Veggie Kingdom going? Did you go there last night?
No, I didn't go there last night. I had a few drinks with the boys here last night, and maybe a few too many, perhaps.
Oh, really?
Maybe a little overindulgence, which is highly unusual for me.
That's why a certain person at church didn't know who you were.
But
Tommy Heisen on the other hand, they seem to be on first name basis.
But I do believe the team had a team dinner there earlier in the week, I believe. So yeah.
Sonny would put on a good show, did he?
Always puts on a good show, Sonny. So HKCC here really looking to wrap this up as quickly as possible.
In terms of if the game stopped right here, who would be your man of the match at this very stage?
I would have to say Azaz Kian.
Absolutely.
I just think
first 6 wickets.
Yeah, I just think when you lose the toss and you get chucked the ball
on a deck like that,
to do what he did early doors was superb.
And I think the key thing is it wasn't bad batting from the Hong Kong Cricket Club. You can't say the Hong Kong Cricket Club got themselves out, which does happen. It was just wonderful bowling, wonderful captaincy, and great fielding by the Kowloon Cricket Club. Just on a pitch that we're still doing a bit. Hong Kong Cricket Club really put their head down and tried to grind it out, but just wasn't good enough. It was just wonderful bowling by Jay Davidson, firstly getting art at LBW, but then it was Azaz Khan who bowled 11, 12 overs in a row.
At least a dozen, I think.
Yeah. He ran in hard. I think forever probably expunged himself from the nickname Sleepy with that kind of performance. And it's interesting. It was last year in the Hancock Shield. It was a Teak, the man of the match. And as we stand today, now I think Jamie Atkinson is probably the other one who could.
7 catches, 50 with a bat.
A very important 50. With guys batting around him, but yeah, at this stage you'd have to say Azaz Khan's effort with the ball was really a match-winning effort, and well done to the young man. Well done to the young man. Good to see.
I mean, I've watched pretty much all of his games this year, and he's he struggled with injury early on, and he really is looking up and about now. He's looking fit. He's bowling, certainly quicker than he was in the early part of the season.
He was quick yesterday, wasn't he?
He was quick,
and not many no balls, was
his
there?
line and length was impeccable. He just kept probing away at that 4th, 5th stump, and he can move it both ways off the seam as well. So he was really creating a massive problem for the Hong Kong Cricket Club top order.
Now, Tommy, you face a lot of these Kowloon Cricket Club players in training. Who do you find hardest to face? Who's the 1 or 2 bowlers that you...
Got a bowling change here as well. Shukla in now to Atkinson. One cut away. They'll be looking for a second.
Well, this could be a run-out chance.
Ah, Nizakat Khan.
Captain. El Capitan.
El Capitan. Beautiful bit of fielding and a great arm.
Yeah, going back to that look, I think we were having this conversation earlier. I would have to say Pascoe, because in general I prefer pace on the ball. So
you prefer pace on the ball.
Any of the seamers, I would back myself, but it's Pascoe that just finds that nagging line and length. Professor, so highly intelligent, kind of knows what he's doing, knows how to get you out, and obviously no pace to work with as such. So out of all the bowlers that we have on show, I'd have to say someone like Pascoe for me, but obviously for someone who's better at spin, I would say Teak is difficult, because he's just there or thereabouts, just a subtle change of fingertip position.
Oh, a shot at the stumps there from Shukla.
Shows good aggression there. But to be honest, good skills there in the cover.
Pretty long.
Yeah.
Nickname, unofficial nickname of Spewy. We'll talk about that a bit later. Yeah. Dan Pascoe, once he's up and probing, he's very difficult to get away, and of course he's turning it away from a Tom Heisinger. The left-hander, it's probably maybe you would never use the word easier, but ball coming in maybe not as difficult, but he's
more manageable. So
worked away there by a Teak to deep square. Just a single.
Have you bought any of Dan Pascoe's books, Tommy Heisinger?
So he's got one book on drug trafficking through Southeast Asia, which sounds fascinating. I've not yet bought it, but it is available on Amazon. So any Christmas presents, anyone who's interested in that subject, I've got no doubt it's a fascinating read.
Very good. I thought that he had 2 books out. I thought there was another one.
I'm not sure actually.
Would he be the one who works hardest at his...
Oh, that's beautifully worked away by Atkinson. He's just got that fine enough, and that is 4.
Didn't he drop the hands?
He did. That was a beautiful shot.
Just fantastic.
He probably knew the fine leg was slightly squarer and just allowed.
So in the lead now.
What's his partnership now?
What's a partnership? Our resident statistician and guru. 28 very important runs.
Important runs and important
lead
minutes
now.
that are being
Lead now 150. So getting very difficult, one would think.
You wouldn't count out Jamie for 100 here, wouldn't you?
If Fatigue can just stay there.
So Atkinson now moving on to 77 from 116 balls.
You've seen that Nizakat's now come up, so I wonder. Look, that looks leg side.
They've done a good job, the umpires, Tabarak Dar and John Prakash, probably the 2 most experienced umpires currently here in Hong Kong. They did the Premier League 50 over Gencor final as well, and Jay Babu is our 3rd umpire, like he was in the 50 over Gencor Premier League game. Great to see him. Does a great job, Jay, and well done to Tabarak and to John Prakash for getting the big game and doing a super job here.
Indeed. So Shukla to continue.
Oh,
Well, I don't know what happened there. The fielder's just come in from third person into just what you'd call a wide-ish second slip, David.
Yes.
Pigeons down here feasting away.
Yeah, they know it's lunchtime.
In comes Shukla.
Good
Just
cricket.
paddled away there for a single.
At the Kowloon Cricket Club, the pitches are definitely much more slanted towards one end, aren't they? It's much shorter towards the clubhouse end
Yeah.
versus that.
Probably by 10 or 15 yards, actually.
Is there any reason for that? Why it's not more in the middle?
Why it's not more in the middle?
I asked you because you were when I asked you about the Fincher Shield, you were all over it yesterday, Matthew Collins, and showing your history. So
it's probably because if you look at the Kowloon Bowls Club end, you know, we do have football as well and hockey, and to be able to get a decent sized field for them, that's that's actually, you know, regulatory compliant, so to speak. To be able to play in local leagues, it's got to be a certain width and length, right? So that, as I understand it, is a reason.
And also probably from a safety point of view,
Those
the balls going into the
and well, it's probably not that, but also keep in mind that, you know, going back, you know, 30, 40 years ago, this main pavilion wasn't here.
Okay.
So the ground was actually originally a lot longer at that end. It wasn't until the pavilion that you're looking at now was built that it sort of encroached on that end of the ground. So the pitch, as I understand it, if you talk to some of the guys that have been around the club longer than I have, Shore Vacher, etc., they'll probably tell you that the pitch hasn't moved.
Oh, really? So it's been like this the whole time. Yeah.
It's just we've lost. Oh, that's a powerful strike by Atkinson. Oh, and it's dropped down there. Oh, and that has gone for 6.
That was very much like Paul Rife in the 1999 World Cup when he dropped Lance Kluster for 6 and it went over the boundary line. Oh,
and Charlie Wallace was just on his haunches.
Who's that down there?
Is that Luke James or Ryan Buckley? Or Ryan Buckley? No, it's Luke Jones, I think.
Yeah. And this is what we were talking about. I think big players, he would have known that was Jamie Atkinson.
It was struck firmly, but straight to him. Really should have been taken.
Indeed.
I think. Can you see Luke? I think that's Luke Jones. What do you think?
Very hard to see from here.
Oh,
how's that?
If Hong Kong Cricket Club have any chance of basically being 150 behind, batting for 25 overs, making 250 odd, and then bowling them out, that was the chance. Oh, that is. It's really just a concentration thing, isn't it? They've been in the field for nearly 3 hours. Ball gets hit down. And it comes hard, and even what makes it even more painful for the bowler and the fielder is it goes for 6.
Brings Jamie on to 84 now, so I think that 100 is in sight. Certainly we won't.
Well, there'll only be what, 1 over after this. Do you think, Tommy?
I would have thought
12:26 now, maybe 1 more.
He's just putting his head down after he's had that chance.
2 to come.
Would he have been looking into the sun? Can we give him a...
No. Unfortunately not.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's been 3 go down this morning.
So there's the Martin Coetzee had the drop in slips.
Yeah, there was another one.
Luke Jones, what was the other one?
There was another one off Azaz Khan in at short leg. I think.
Difficult one?
I think it was long. No, just sort of squeezed from bat and pad to the short leg.
And the thing at this level, that you just got, you know, guys like Jamie, they'll only give you 1 chance.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Azaz Khan didn't go on to make many more, I don't think.
No, 8 more.
But the Jamie drop, obviously, a big one.
It's a huge one. Yeah.
Keeping in mind as well, 50 over Premier League final. Khan, when he got 100, he was dropped on about
2. He was dropped on 2 by Mo Khan, went straight to him through the hands.
So
the pocket rocket normally catches that.
He does. So we've got
1 ball to navigate, I think.
Yes.
This over
and the
being
score
the
on
74th.
299.
Then there's a question: does it become just too much of a lead, and does Hong Kong Cricket Club try and save the embarrassment of being knocked over outright? There has been probably in the last 4 out of the last 8 Fincher Shields, Hancock Shields, there has been outright results, pretty much won by the Kowloon Cricket Club. So I think there's still an opportunity for, you know, if they can grab a wicket next over or 2 for Hong Kong Cricket Club to go, well, let's try and get 250, 300 and leave ourselves 20 overs, maybe on a dusty, turny track.
I don't think you're going to get a dusty turny tray. It's a beautiful batting.
He's done a great job.
It is a superb
the
two-day
groundsman here, who's probably had a little bit of criticism earlier in the season. The pitchers were probably doing it a bit too much with the in terms of spin. But he's prepared a wonderful cricket wicket, and it's been...
Well, basically, he's putting a lot more grass on it.
Which it holds it together, doesn't
definitely. I mean, I had a look this morning. There was absolutely no chance of this wicket breaking up today.
Scrivener, last over before lunch.
How many? What's Scrivener's figures so far?
Well, he hasn't bowled at all so far today. So this will be his first over today. Bowled a few yesterday, didn't he, Nitesh? 5 overs, 2 maidens, none for 18.
He's a bowler who... He's not a huge turner of the ball. He's a guy who contains and then can just build up pressure and grab wickets. Comes with... He's a tall lad from New Zealand. Gets right over the top of it.
He bowls that very straight line between off stump and middle stump, which can be pesky to try and get away. Flighted. Jamie, I think
it's not often you'd see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys on the boundary. It's not like Vivian Richards is batting out there, is it?
Well, he's thrown that one up.
I think he's trying to tease and flirt with Jamie here, Scrivener. I think Jamie's content to go into his lunch break, his prawn sandwiches on 85 not out.
I think so.
And this will be the last over.
Can he get one more single to get up to get 9 for 300? It's been a wonderful batting performance by the Caroline Cricket Club, a wonderful all-round cricket performance, as a couple more guys come up and see if Scrivener can maybe just entice Jamie to play maybe a rash shot just before lunch. See how we go here. Talking earlier, if it's Hong Kong Cricket Club does get a chance to bat, you'd have to think it'd be Nizikat Khan and Martin Kutzer, and actually you might actually see Kinshit Shah opening the batting, because he actually will be missing the final session. He's off he's got to go to the airport to catch a flight.
What? Yes,
that's the rumour that's floating around on social media.
I've heard this rumour as well.
Wow.
On a jet plane.
Well, he's just reached for that one. Man, they're at backward point. Comes in to collect that one. So not playing the final session.
I'd heard this rumour, partly because he told me on the Thursday. And well, he might need to come in and face 10 overs and get 100.
Wow, would have been interesting if the game was close.
Yes. Might have to push the flight back perhaps, or ask the pilot just to hold on there. Here comes Scrivener. Well played. And that will be
lunch.
Well done, Jamie Atkinson. Well done, Ateek. Well done, Kowloon Cricket Club. A wonderful session. A good fight back by the Hong Kong Cricket Club. Maybe they thought they could roll over KCC with maybe only 100 lead, but Kowloon Cricket Club have been just a bit too strong, a bit too disciplined. Your final thoughts, Matthew Collins and Tom Heisinger?
Yeah, look, I think really good effort this morning for the 2 quicks from Hong Kong Cricket Club, Shukla and Wallace. 7 wickets for the session. They really did try very, very hard, but some great batting there in the end by Atkinson, the skipper. He's really led from the front, and I think it's an insurmountable sort of lead that they've now got. But hopefully, post lunch, we'll see some really entertaining cricket with Hong Kong Cricket Club coming out and trying to get some runs quickly.
And if they lose a couple of wickets, who knows? It could be a survival. It could be very exciting one way or the other.
You never know.
People around the bat, Dan Pascoe, the tormentor of Tom Heisinger, apparently.
Whatever happens, it's going to be entertaining. Your thoughts, Tommy?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, KCC leading by 158 now. They'll come out. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Jamie really up it post lunch and then try and get the outright win, I would have thought. But I think, Collins, this is your final stint here.
It's a swan song, mate. Yeah, the swan song.
Before you leave back to Australia. So,
indeed.
Final thoughts on KCC and cricket in general before
no, look, I mean, 20 years here, Tommy. It's been a really great time. Cricket's been a huge part of my life here, not just at the KCC, but also involvement with the national side of things as well. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. Made lifelong friends, and it won't be the last you've seen of me, Tommy. But yeah, just take this opportunity to thank everyone who I've sort of shared the journey with me. And yeah, it's been a huge time and a lot of fun.
And thank you to you, Matt Collins, for all you've done for Cricket Hong Kong, for the Kowloon Cricket Club, for the relationship between the Hong Kong Cricket Club and Kowloon Cricket Club, and also what an incredible job you've done in commentary since we started opening this up, really leading from the forefront, and you'll be very much missed. We're already thinking, Kent, is there a way we can zoom you in and get you on? Fans from around the world love hearing your insights, and but we'll see how we go. But as we go to lunch, we say a big massive thank you to Matt Collins, and wish you all the best down in Australia, and we'll be celebrating with a few drinks at lunch and into the afternoon.
Indeed, boys. Thank you very much. Cheers. Has once worked away to fine leg, and that will beat the fielder down there. Quite getting it together. And they've really just got better and better, and they're sort of back to what we've sort of become accustomed to. Oh, that one's edged away down here to third.